Hello, YouTube, my old friend. Gonna talk to fascists again. And if I die before I wake, that'd be fine. All right, let's do the show. I got a fancy rotary.
A rotary? Okay.
Works. I want to hook it up to my soundboard to be functional. And I mentioned it to Justin, who has a background in engineering. He was like, and he just started using terminology, and I didn't have the heart to break it to him that I'm not as smart as he is.
You're like, I don't know any of this stuff.
I kind of got something. I think he was saying that there is a break, what he was calling a breakout, where you can basically like clip this in, and then it'll separate it into the cables individual cables that you can then map to the right kinds of cables. Because if I can map the mic one to an XLR input and the speaker to a 1/4 inch, or both to 1/4 inch, I could do it. But yeah, this is my fancy rotary. Y'all liking I think so there's a potentially new set coming in the future because of some changes I'm making on my end. If that happened, I think I kind of want to have like a set where the background is, I'd still have this set, but the background would be like antique phones. I think that would just make sense for me. I think that'd be like pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
It'd be cool
like,
to collect
are you gonna do
antique
like
phones.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Like if you were collecting them or if they were going to be like a painting or something on the background.
People could gift them if they wanted. Like, hey, my grandma just died. Here's her old phone. I'll just start using grandma's old phones. And I would need whatever that breakout box is. Is any of you in chat electricals that understood what that means? And like, you want to email me, contact@qanaline.com, and just like write Jimmy's request and send me the list of things. I'll explain it again in case anybody can email me how this works. By the way, if you disagree with us, we're leftists. That's pretty much all you need to know. We're leftists. We think Trump is doing a terrible job. We think MAGA's turning on Trump. We think that that's why it's actually legitimately gotten harder to get MAGA calls recently, not just on our shows where I'm a dick. Everybody's having a harder time ever since it used to be vote for Donald Trump if you want lower gas prices and no war with Iran. That was the campaign. That was, in fact, the only part of the campaign that, if I'm honest,
made sense.
Appealed. Not to me, but I understood the appeal. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, if I believed that those things were true, if I'm sitting in my living room and going, yes, Kamala Harris is more likely to go to war with Iran and gas prices would go down, I'm sure if I was a person who believed those would be pretty compelling cases. Those would be pretty appealing. That was the appealing case that they tried to make. I don't think they were true. And I told people it wasn't going to be true, and they didn't care. But if you genuinely believe that was the case, I kind of get it. Guys, what happened? Donald Trump, that was why it had to be Trump. Trump's not perfect, but I want lower gas prices and I don't want any more wars. Bro.
Yeah, he did say that, and that didn't happen.
We're buying lobster for the soldiers for a reason right now, guys. Okay? You know what I'm saying? They're getting lobster Fridays right now for a reason, guys. Not the Catholics, though. No fish on Fridays. Or is it exclusively fish on Fridays? I don't remember what it is. I think it's exclusively fish. No meat on Fridays.
I know that was a thing.
Yeah, for Lent?
Nope. I didn't know that was a thing.
Anyway, to my electricals people.
Electricals.
This isn't even a true antique, but it operates. I would want to get real antiques. There is a regular line, like the old, not Ethernet, but the old, it's called coax, I think. The old coax style, not the screw-in. The old phone lines. I want to plug in something to this, and then I want to be able to connect that easily without any advanced wiring things to an XLR cable, which could go into the mic input on my soundboard. If it needs phantom power, that's fine. My board can handle it. If it doesn't, even better. And then I want the audio to be able to be routed through a 1/4 inch, though if I have to use converters, between 8-inch auxiliary cable, single ground mono, I think is what it would have to be. But it is stereo out of the back of it. If somebody knows how to do that, and you can just send me a list of on Amazon, by this, connect this to this, to this, to this, that'd be dope. I have no idea how to do it, but I think it would be fun to be able to do bits where people are getting crazy and I can just switch to this mic and I can grab this phone and put it to my ear and hear the show and be like, dude, let's sidebar right now. You are being a real fucking bitch. Okay. We got it. You're getting, this is mom voice now. This is and then it have the bad audio that comes from an actual phone. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Somebody wrote, you need a Raspberry Pi to make that work. I'm pretty sure. Maybe. I actually think you don't need a computer in the middle when with the breakouts. But I do think that there probably is a raspberry, because that's what it's actually spelled. Raspberry. Yeah. I think there probably is a raspberry solution out there. But anyway, y'all like seeing me press my buttons. And you don't need the parts that run the dialer at all. You just need the mic and the speaker parts. Anyway, everybody click like so we can get more people in the chat. MAGA, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, everywhere you look, there's a heart of somebody who loves you. Not here, though. Call us 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. Tell you about the new shows. Well, I can tell you that one of the new shows has been announced to the patrons on the most recent Patreon, rather the bonus show for the last podcast. We did tell people about the new shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds right. Somebody, sorry, I shouldn't say somebody. A friend said, you could do it analog depending on how your audio is currently routed. Matt, he doesn't know all of that. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't know all of that.
Yeah. I have a very limited set of skills. So I think I've told you everything you need to know. Coax phone line that needs to break out and be able to connect audio out to XLR. I could technically do 1/4 inch, but I'd prefer XLR. Audio in, the breakout box needs to have an audio in 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch. I can use adapters if I need one end of that to be 1/8 inch. Those I think tells a person with the know-how what to do. Hey, Chewed Gum Raid. All right. 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. MAGA, if you're here, Republicans, conservatives, if you're here and you'd like to tell us, yes, RJ11 is what that's called. You'd like to tell us what we're doing wrong, how we are silly, how we're doing a bad job. What's wrong with us supporting socialism? What's wrong with us being against capitalism? What's wrong with us being against conservatism? If you don't even want to do the trumpet of it all and you'd rather do what you perceive as the 2028 JD Vance or whatever nominee agenda, I kind of get it, guys. I kind of get that you don't want to defend Trump, because I think MAGA right now is on the same page as us. Trump is a liar. Trump does not deliver on his promises. So even if you voted for him because of what he promised, he has fucked you in the face with those promises. He is clearly a pedophile. That's just, this week, that same person I've been talking about, with the account from when she was 13, even more details from the accounts she's been giving were confirmed. She's looking more and more like a credible witness every day, and she is the one. And we're talking details that she wouldn't have been privy to were she not present. That they are confirming she's with Jeffrey Epstein and other people are there at certain places, certain years, certain times, certain days, things that weren't public info. And one of her accounts is biting Donald Trump on the penis. And so, this is where we are. 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. You can call in and you can tell us why we're wrong. Tell us. We're
never wrong. The plot twist. We're just never wrong.
It's true. That is the hard part, where they're just like, there are so many conservatives and MAGA out there that are like, how do I argue with them? Like, would I need facts? I don't got them. I ain't got facts. I got feelings. I got a team and I got a vibe. That's what I work on. My team and my vibe. Dearest, is that call not screening? Obviously, we're going to let them know they have to call back in non-anonymously.
They don't know how not to do that. That's how it always seems. Non-anonymously.
Oh,
that just makes me think of femininomenon. There we go.
Phenomena.
Femininomenon.
Apparently, we must have had a clip. I don't know if it was a short or what, but we've had a clip restricted on the line, either a clip or a short that is called "He Pussied Out." I don't know. Let's see what's.
Was that me calling somebody a PAB?
I titled that?
No, this is on the line, so I think it would have been Arden.
Oh, not me.
That caller say they're going to call back on an actual phone?
I just couldn't hear anything. They just like never said anything.
Wasn't a real call.
Just blank.
Well. Javon had the wildest call earlier. Was it our friend for the other day who won't hold it against Trump for being a pedophile because his grandpa was a pedophile? Was that who it was? You got to tell me. Got to hear about it. I might take a quick bathroom break. I'm not feeling super great today, so I might let you talk to the crowd and the people while I handle that. Yeah, people get in the queue, get on the line and get in. You'll be able to talk quickly. They always wait till closer to the end of the show. And now it's like, well, we can't fit all of you. Despite what you've heard about me, I can't fit everyone in.
No.
That was a butthole joke. Okay.
Oh gosh. I don't pick up on jokes a lot of the time. Yikes. Okay. Well, guys, I don't know why. Like, let's be clear. Where are the MAGA? Like, I know you guys hide now. I understand that, and it is harder to defend somebody that is mostly indefensible. Hi, if y'all don't know me, I'm Mermaid Ari. Go by Ari, and sorry. And you guys can find me on all the socials, Mermaid Ari0, everywhere now. I've changed that. And I'm here every Tuesday. And I would love to do this full time, but I have to make a lot of money from it doing it full time. So if y'all can help me out on all of the super chats, bits, gifts on TikTok, and all of these things, I would love you so much and appreciate that. Guys, this is very hard work. Labor is not free, or at least it shouldn't be free. We'll say it that way. Okay. And if you voted for Donald Trump, then I encourage you to call the number on the screen. We want to have a conversation. It's just that you cannot call in from an anonymous number. It has to be your real number, or at least a real number. There are so many ways that you guys can make a fake one. Donald Trump is trying to now circumvent the law and the Constitution in overriding the 10th Amendment by signing an executive order about voting, to implement his own version of the SAVE Act through executive order. And I don't know if you guys realize that, but that's not legal. He can't sign an executive order. Like, I'm sure if I asked, a few people would actually know the answer to this question. But what do executive orders do? Let's try this. What do executive orders do? Cool. They tell federal agencies under the executive branch of government what to do. They can't tell other states what to do. They are not law. They can't tell a free citizen what to do that is not a government employee. So when I tell you that it's useless, I mean it. It's not going to do with anything. That's funny, Kara. I am going to try to leave the super chats for Jimmy to read through, because he can click off on them and basically mark them red on his end. I can't do that on mine. Giddy up. There's a few of you that are really upset in my TikTok chat, and I really encourage you guys to call the number on the screen. Like, that was a wild comment. Somebody is obviously very upset that the TST, for those that don't know, that's the Satanic Temple. They don't actually worship Satan. The TST named an abortion clinic after Samuel Alito. Just putting that out there. Literally named an abortion clinic after Samuel Alito. And I think I'm going to call her out personally on this one. I think Green Valley is actually really upset that there is an abortion clinic named Samuel Alito's mom. Like, I encourage you guys, call the number on the screen. I know you guys are used to my show. I don't always let people finish their thoughts, especially when they are trying to gish gallop and whatnot. So, but Jimmy doesn't do that. He gives you guys just enough to let you guys dig your own hole. And unfortunately, MAGA loves doing that. They truly love digging their own hole. I don't really know what else to say about that. It's satin, guys. Somebody asked, who is Samuel Alito? He's a justice on the Supreme Court of the United States. You guys got to know. Well, you don't have to know, but I would encourage you to know. Oh, thank you, Feisty. I see you. But yeah, like, I think it's odd, right? So MAGA likes to call themselves America First. But in reality, this is what we're doing, right? We are spending about $2 billion a day on a foreign war that we didn't start. Well, I mean, technically we did. But technically, Israel started it first. We joined in on the war according to Marco Rubio, because, well, we knew that Israel was going to drop bombs on Iran. So if Israel dropped bombs on Iran, that meant that Iran was going to shoot at our basis, right? Our United States basis, and therefore kill people. So we had to get involved to just go around that, right? And that's just not how that works. So right now, you guys are so America first that we're spending $2 billion a day on a foreign war that another country got us involved in.
I'm reading Kara's super chat, trying to parse it.
Yeah. I was gonna say I didn't want. I was like, I'll let Jimmy read them out because. Oh, guys, you can't request in the box on TikTok. You have to call the number on the screen. It's not that difficult. It's clearly there.
543-2101, 336-543-2101. I might have to go to the bathroom again in a minute. I'm feeling like kind of boo, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Quit trying to out me, some guy. Jesus Christ. 336-543-2101. You've got me at half power today, guys. If there was ever a day to take a shot, now's the day to take a shot. Any questions in the super chats? In the meantime, if you want, we can make it where, as long as they're not calling in, we make money because we start responding to super chat questions. So it incentivizes them further. They're like, we don't want to support their leftist nonsense, but the clips are more powerful or less powerful or whatever. Whatever order that's supposed to be.
Goodness. So I told
you I'm at half power.
You're okay, though. I'm going to help out my TikTok chat. If you're MAGA and you're in my TikTok chat, you will be absolutely ignored. I might pin your comment because you're showing that you're a pussy in my comments and don't have the balls to call in. Or if you're a woman, you don't have big enough breasts, I guess, to call in. I don't care which one you are. But
you don't got the balls on your chest to call in.
Yeah, one of the two, right? Like we gotta be equal here, right? So I don't care which one it is, but call the number on the screen and show that you're not a pussy ass bitch. Especially like you, Michelle. Call the number on the screen. You're being called out.
What was Michelle saying?
Several past presidents said Iran was a huge threat to the U.S. Trump acts on it, and it's a problem.
Oh, I'd love for you to call him. That's not even a difficult challenge. I don't even disagree that Iran's a threat to the U.S. For the record, that doesn't call in. Because what Trump did is still wrong. Goodness sakes, like if you come harder.
Yeah, like that was a softball, but that was just one of the ones. But yeah, I also like poked at them because somebody went straight into abortion for like no reason. So I was like,
Call in.
I think someone's mad that the TST has an abortion clinic named after Samuel Alito.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I love it.
TST, which of course refers to the Titties Saint Tits Episcopal Church, is what that stands for. The Titties Saint Church. Yeah, call in. We've had a couple people try to call in anonymously. We don't take anonymous calls. You are in no danger if you call in from your actual phone. We have never used it to dox people, except to the FBI when they have resorted to telling us they were going to kill us, or in one case telling a creator they were going to rape and kill them. It is always interesting how like there are certain people who call in to defend MAGA and then they just end up being exactly what you expect out of MAGA. You know what I mean? It's like, well, at least they're sticking to it. It's kind of like the Nazi problem MAGA's having right now, as you have new America First people, not new, but people trying to take the lead on America First between like Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes and the like. And now MAGA's having to sit there and go like, why are there all these Nazis? Like, we told everybody we don't like Nazis, and it's kind of seeming like, do we like Nazis? I'm just waiting for Ben Shapiro to do his like, well, I had to join the left because turns out I was helping actual Nazis. So I don't agree with the left, but I do agree with not being genocided when eventually those Nazis turn on him.
It will eventually turn. That is very true.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Like if Fuentes started it, that hurts to say.
What if Fuentes ends up as the president one day?
I think I would have lost all hope for humanity.
Is Fuentes a more of a moment of all humanity's hope is lost than Trump? It's kind of like Fuentes is worse than Trump, but Trump being possible makes Fuentes possible. So I feel like we're already at our like point of hopelessness. And so that would just mean we were staying steady on our course of getting worse, and our hope of getting better probably wasn't arriving.
I guess it would be more about like if Fuentes became president, there would be no turning back.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, other than his personal life. You know what I'm saying? I know what he's up to. That was a gay joke. Turning back, Fuentes is a bottom. Which is very emasculating for people like him.
It just reminds me of him going up on Piers Morgan and Piers actually asking him, like, do you actually like women?
What was his answer?
Of course.
Very much. I like their, as every man does, the kneecaps. I find kneecaps very sensual, as a red-blooded American would do. I find, what was his thing? Like, and when they, I really like closing my eyes around them, and really enjoy when they have a condition that causes them to have stubble. I love women.
That's funny. And I think the other great thing was to like Piers Morgan got Fuentes to admit on camera that he is a virgin, which I mean, we all knew.
Right. Well, but he, as a Christian, he would like pretend that was a badge. You know what I mean? I'm unmarried. Yeah. I don't believe in sex before marriage. So of course I just have a lot of opinions about your bodies. Remember, Fuentes is the one who said, your body, my choice.
Oh yeah. As soon as
that's the guy.
Kamala conceded the election, like he was like, that was the plan all along.
We have at least one call screening people, so calls will begin shortly. Maybe at some point during this, I'll unbox my Alakazam figurine, put that in the background.
That took a moment. Pokemon.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it.
You're not a nerd?
And I just heard No, I am a nerd. That's why I know it's
that
Pokemon.
Kind of nerd? Oh, okay. Good,
yeah.
Good.
I have all of the evolutions as like little tiny plushies.
Aww.
And they're on my wall. Well, not behind me, obviously. They're on a wall.
Hell yeah. I do have some people apparently already emailing me how they think I could break out that rotary phone. And I'm really
Nice.
hoping, I'm getting the feeling that this caller that's being screened right now is being long-winded.
Oh, guys, when you get the screener, just keep it short.
Keep it fast. We gotta cycle through these things.
Yeah.
Oh man. Alakazam's the shit. I like the Abra line is my favorite. That's why I have this Abra themed Pokeball that I got from
Ooh.
a convention.
That's cool.
Sorry, I'm a little gassy too, a little burpy.
I don't have anything like that. The most I have actually, and I don't get hold on.
There, now the tail is still visible.
I have this.
Okay. Oh my God.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
This part glows in the dark.
I've seen too much anime. My brain has gone to terrible places.
No, this is just, it's keeping with the mermaid theme.
Yeah,
underwater
great mermaid with an octopus with fuck me eyes. I mean, whatever. The artist made the choices the artist made. Like, whatever.
That is so wrong. No, it's just cute. I refuse to let you do that. It's just cute.
You won't let me. You will not.
You're not gonna.
You're not gonna sexualize my octopus.
It has a pumpkin. It's cute.
I think an entire country might have already done that. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm aware. I don't care. You're not doing it to this cute little octopus that glows in the dark. Thank you.
Baby Cthulhu. Well, why is it got those subby eyes? You know what I mean? Holy shit.
They were making it cute.
This one call that is, I feel like it's a warning for things to come. Goodness sakes.
Oh, what?
Oh, excellent. Let's have the fact check things up while those things. All right, Daniel in California, you are on the line with Jimmy and Ari. Daniel, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing? Can you hear me okay?
We hear you fine.
Yes.
And right now we've got over 1,000 people watching live. More will come now that the calls have begun. And so before we get going, I've got a couple of questions to get us started. First things first, how old are you?
I am 40 years old.
So you would have been eligible for the very last, last 3 elections that Donald Trump ran in, and he ran in all of them. Who'd you vote for in those?
Last one I voted for Jill Stein. The one before that, I voted 2020.
Yep, Biden versus Trump.
I guess I voted for Biden. And then in 2016, I voted for Hillary, which I feel really bad for now, considering she's a face eater or whatever the hell she's doing. That makes me feel really bad that I gave my vote.
I don't know what that means. She's a face eater?
Fuck?
Oh, you guys haven't heard of about the evil shit that Hillary Clinton's been doing?
What in the conspiracy theory hell?
All right, before we get started, Daniel, would you like the audience to refer to you as a he, a she, a they, or something else?
Whatever you want. I don't care.
Well, okay, thank you. What I want is your preference, as everybody does have a preference. So what I want is indeed whichever your preference is. So is your preference he, she, they, or something else?
I really don't have a preference, but you can call me a he.
Great. We will do he.
That's what I was born as.
All right. So you are saying that Hillary eats faces literally, or are you referring to a leopard ate your face sort of thing?
I'm being hyperbolic. I'm saying that, there are, according to sources, Epstein file sources, that she is one evil lady. And
what does the Epstein files contain about Hillary Clinton?
Oh, bro, that's not why I called in. I was just...
Yeah, I know. We're kind of establishing a baseline, and you did bring it up.
What does the Epstein files say specifically? I don't know specifics on it.
Broadly, then, what are the broad things that for the record, I'm not a Hillary stan. I don't like Hillary Clinton. Clearly, Hillary Clinton was still the much better decision. So when you say you regretted your vote, I don't regret my vote for Hillary when the alternative was Trump. And as a result, we literally flipped Supreme Court seats, one that was pending that should have gone through, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And the consequences to the Supreme Court was not worth not having Hillary. But
Have you heard of the Steele dossier? Let's start there.
Well, the Steele dossier doesn't have anything to do with Hillary and the Epstein files.
Okay, you're
The
wrong
Steele
on that.
dossier
You're
was
wrong on that.
the Steele
You're wrong on that.
dossier.
She literally had to pay a fine for her contributions to the Steele dossier. The DNC
So you are
and her
you are
had to pay a
describing
fine.
her. You are describing her as terrible things coming out of the Epstein files. When you throw out an accusation like that and you don't have the preparation to share the details, what a person hears is, oh, she was a part of the pedophilia? They found that in the Epstein files? Great. Where in the Epstein files can I find that?
You have Google, right?
I sure do, and I've already pulled up the Epstein files and am already aware that actually there is no new information anywhere in the Epstein files about Hillary Clinton. And in fact, it has backed up her claims that she never met the guy or spent any significant time about it.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
With him. Yeah, no, not maybe, you are.
Okay, next.
What do you mean next?
For me, the Steele dossier was the end all be all.
Why?
Also her contribution in Benghazi, and being completely flippant about that.
Why? Neither of those things are big deals at all, nor were either of those things worth Donald Trump.
Well, we're talking about American lives that didn't need to be lost.
How many?
For Benghazi.
How many American lives were lost in Benghazi?
I mean, it was a handful. It wasn't like more than 15 or something like that. I think it was a smaller number, but still.
So to be clear, once again, you are making heavy points about things for which you don't know the details. And so the next step would be, even if you got the number right, it was 4. It happened on September 11th, 2012. 4 individuals died. Now, how did Hillary Clinton, what action, despite the fact that Republicans have had how many investigations into her now, and every single time been able to come up with nothing, no culpability, no responsibility, nothing that she did that caused those individuals to die. So then the question is, you don't like Hillary because of Benghazi. What did Hillary do to cause those individuals to die in Benghazi?
Well, her emails, her emails being public, that whole thing supposedly led to them being compromised, and that compromised the base, which led to the deaths of 4 people, which is not good. And again,
Jesus Christ, dude, you're combining conspiracies. There is no evidence of any of the things that you are describing.
Yeah, I guess I'm putting a couple things together just because there's so many things about her that
you're putting them together in the wrong order. No, there isn't so many things. There's so much propaganda. Again, not a Hillary stan. I hate her because she's a genocidal maniac. But the things you hate her for, and I would have still voted for her over Trump, who is an even bigger genocidal maniac and has empowered Israel in a way that only Bibi Netanyahu before got to experience in the wettest of his dreams. You're doing things in reverse. You know, there's something about Benghazi and the emails. The Benghazi investigation is what ultimately led to the discovery that she had a private email server, upon which they were worried was confidential information. However, they haven't actually found confidential information, and the information has nothing to do with Benghazi. It was just a side discovery. So you're sitting here with, apparently, Daniel, strong opinions that you make the foundation of your vote, and you legitimately don't know the details despite feeling strong. You are the definition of Dunning-Kruger. You feel very confident and strong with a very low level of awareness, education in the things that you are feeling strongly about.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't do this as a profession like you do. I wish I did, actually. I really do.
I knew all of the things you said were wrong before it was my profession.
I'd be happy to spend more time looking into this type of stuff the way that you have the ability and you have the backing to do. Unfortunately, I don't.
You should have sometime over the last 10 years.
Daniel, the other things that no, Daniel, you're not going to get to just brush past that. Daniel, you're not going to just brush past that. The claim you just made about because we do this for a living, I knew all of the things you just said before I did it for a living, that they weren't true. But even if I didn't, that doesn't mean that I made false claims. You're here making false claims as though, stop. You're making false claims as though you know the information. So don't make claims you don't know the information about at all. And don't let those inspire your vote if you don't know them at all.
Dude, there are a lot of things that came out about Hillary, and one of the things I just mentioned, I regretted my vote for her in 2016. That's what I mentioned, and I wasn't trying to turn it into a big old thing. I wanted to talk about the most recent things that have happened with Florida, for example, and the hospital.
So Daniel, before we get started with Florida, should I expect
foods from Florida?
Daniel, should I expect how our conversation goes about the claims you're going to make about what happened in Florida to be very similar to the discussion we had about Hillary? Are you more informed?
I'd be happy
are you more informed on the things that Daniel? Are you more informed on the things that you are going to share, or with very little fact checking, potentially not even requiring that? Because in the case of Hillary, I only needed my memory. I only had to look up a date. Literally, I couldn't remember what year. I knew it was September 11th. Benghazi happened. All the other stuff I knew. So will very little fact checking show that you don't actually know the facts of what's happening in Florida as well? Would you consider yourself actually well-versed and informed on this?
I'd consider myself more informed because it's more recent. That's what I'd say. All right.
Well, let's hear it.
And again, you could look it up again. But Florida's attempting, I don't know if it's been successful as of yet, but they're going to restrict certain unhealthy foods and drinks out of the hospitals, which when you go to a hospital, the point is to recover and not be pushed further down into whatever ailment you have. And a lot of the foods, and I watched it happen with my mom as she was sitting in hospice being fed poison that just made her life even worse. Hopefully we can get these foods out, and that would be as a result of Trump's administration. And that would be fantastic if they're no longer serving fucking pudding cups and, I'm sorry if I'm not allowed to curse, my bad.
Nobody cares if you curse.
And serving apple juice and serving chocolate milk and serving these things to people that shouldn't be receiving these things. Like, honestly, nobody should be eating this stuff, but...
Hey, Daniel, how robust is the science that proves apple juice is poisonous?
Well, you have to think about the sugar. It's really just not... It's not about apple juice. It's just juices in general.
Is sugar poisonous?
You shouldn't be drinking... Is that a serious question, or...?
Yes, dead-ass serious question. Is sugar poisonous?
100%, dude. Yeah.
100%?
Yeah.
In any dose?
Natural sugar is fine, right? If you're eating fruit and veg and the natural sugars that come from that. But when you start talking about processed sugar, that is the poison that Big Pharma has used. What is processed sugar?
Like,
you have natural sugar,
what do you mean?
You said natural sugar is fine. So what is the difference between natural sugar and processed sugar?
Well, when you eat like a pineapple, your body takes that glucose and uses it as energy.
Okay, so natural sugar is glucose?
I mean, that's what your body turns what you eat into, yeah.
What is natural sugar made of? It's made of two things, glucose and whatever. What else?
Carbohydrates, I think? I don't know.
Fructose.
Okay, yeah.
So natural and refined sugars are glucose and fructose. They're a hydrocarbon chain. So what about processing turns sugar poisonous?
So high fructose corn syrup is not a natural state sugar.
We were talking about processed sugar. If you would like to move to high fructose corn syrup, by the way, I don't like high fructose corn syrup. I can't process high fructose corn syrup because my body reacts poorly to high levels of fructans.
Nobody can.
However, that also means I can't, excuse me, lots of people can, Daniel. I can't eat many fruits for the same reason I can't eat high fructose corn syrup, because of a specific condition I have. It isn't universal. High fructose corn syrup is a type of processed sugar alternative, but we were on processed sugar, and it seems to me that you don't know what processed sugar is, which is why you're trying to now move into a different zone.
Processed sugar is like that CNH sugar. That's processed sugar. Sugar that you pour into your coffee. That's processed sugar.
Granulated sugar.
Okay.
What is No, I'm trying to make it simpler what you're describing. Granulated sugar, the sugar you can buy in bags. Great. What is different about a molecule of granulated sugar versus a molecule of sugar that you find in fruit?
One is naturally from the earth, and one is created in a lab.
What about sugar cane?
Wait,
what's the difference between weed and cocaine?
What do you mean?
Oh my God.
How do they make processed sugar in a lab?
I don't know.
I'm also curious about sugar cane. Sugar cane. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, organic sugar cane that's fine. I mean, we used to.
How do you have inorganic
we
sugar
would just
cane?
chew on that, and it's good for your teeth.
Yeah. So that's why Jimmy said granulated sugar.
What did they granulate to make sugar? Something it's granulated. What did they granulate?
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't you think you should, since you're going and you're saying processed sugar as opposed to naturally occurring sugar is a poison?
I'm saying that the sugars that they have in hospitals is poison. So instead of having
what is in the molecule? What is in the molecule in those sugars that is poison?
Say your question again. What is what?
Oh my God.
What chemically in that sugar is poison?
Well, I guess technically the sugar itself is the poison. If you're going
So why is it poisonous in the sugar when it's in granulated form and not when it's in fruit form?
Because one is processed by
you
are
spinning in a circle. What about processing adds a poison to it?
What about adding a process to seed oils makes it poisonous? It's the same. It's like asking the same question.
Indeed I am. What about processing seed oils turns a seed oil poisonous? You're right. I am asking the same question, because here's the rub, buddy.
It's
sugar in excess is bad for. No, it isn't. It's literally the exact same molecule, literally in the fruit and outside. Sugar in excess is bad for everybody. There are foods that are poisonous, but a packet of sugar contains no poison, because that packet of sugar came from either sugar cane or a sugar beet that was grown. Then that plant was shredded and crushed. Then it was cleaned, usually by heat and filters that remove the dirt. Then it is boiled down. All the water is removed. It makes a syrup. Then it is spun in a centrifuge. So that basically takes the raw brown crystals and separates it from the molasses. Then the brown crystals are dissolved again, and they are filtered through charcoal, which essentially does a thing called bleaching it. Not adding the chemical bleach. Bleaching is a process, just like you can bleach your hair with the sun. Then it is recrystallized, it is dried, and it is packaged. Processing, saying something is processed. No, I'm not done. Saying something is processed is a meaningless term. If I take a potato out of the ground, I peel it, I cut it up, I cover it in a little bit of oil, I put it in an air fryer, and I take it out and I feed it to my kids. Those kids are eating processed French fries. There are conversations to have about ultra-processed foods, and not that it automatically is bad because they're ultra-processed. What could be bad about ultra processed food is we have figured out how in very addictive and little packages to pack in a ton of calories, a ton of sugar, in that people eating what just seems like a reasonable amount of something to eat can become obese. Obesity is what is killing people. In fact, there have already been studies. If you were to eat only 2,000 calories of purely just Twinkies a day, 2,000 and that's it, and then you do vitamins to supplement everything else, you'll be healthy. As long as you're still getting your macros through your supplements and everything else, you still need protein, you still need those other things, but your calories were the only food you were eating were Twinkies, you would still be healthy. They've already proven this. You would call it in a lab, since you think processing in a process like crushing plants and shit is processing. Daniel, once again, like the Hillary stuff, you are making claims with confidence that you don't know. There isn't science to back you. There isn't even science to back that the food dyes that they are trying to ban are in fact poisonous. And I would like that science to be performed. It seems weird. I know that if I go to a doctor for a colonoscopy, they definitely ask me not to drink anything with red food dye because I can get false positives of inflammation when they look in my butt. So clearly there are reasons not to. I'd love there to be more science on it, but you are speaking confidently as though these things are established and then talking down when I ask you if something's poisonous and you go, is that a serious question? As though the science is on your side when it's actually not. In fact, it's on the opposite side.
Look, I get this is your show, and I want to give you as much time to talk as possible, but
you don't have to worry about that. I issue the time.
Come back when I can.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'd love to reply when you'll allow me to.
Sir, the part where you just started talking was your opportunity. You know that because you started talking. And let me make it clear. You said you want to give me, but you said you understood it's my show. These are in conflict.
Yeah, totally.
I give you time. And the moment when you started talking was when you were meant to reply. So if you would now like to try, you can try again and not try any snooty bullshit up your own ass garbage.
Yeah, sure. So what I'm referring to is the actual overloading of the liver that is caused by sugar. And this is done with alcohol. That's why now they're finding out that alcohol in any amount is not good for you. It doesn't matter if it's a glass of wine a day or a glass of wine a week, a shot here, a shot there. They're finding out that any alcohol whatsoever is damaging to your liver. They're also finding this out
let's say
sugar.
Let's say you drink 2 ounces of alcohol a week in a social setting. Does your life get longer or shorter?
Shorter.
Incorrect. It actually gets longer because things aren't as straightforward as you think. I don't drink any alcohol. Once again, because of my condition, I can't. Alcohol, you are quite correct. They have found there is no positive benefit, and even in a small amount, they can find trace negative benefits, but not the types of things that you can't heal from. But that said, the reason I asked this specific question is actually studies show the opposite, that if you are drinking alcohol specifically to be able to have more robust social interactions, 2 ounces of alcohol a week will probably lengthen your life, not from the alcohol, but because people with more robust social groups and who don't isolate live longer. So even this, nothing is as straightforward as you think it is. The benefit to a lot of people's lives with alcohol in moderation ends up actually being larger than the deficit. And so when you say it's just like alcohol, it also isn't. There has not been shown a study that says any amount of sugar is bad for you no matter how much. In fact, the studies show the opposite. If you cut sugar completely out of your life, you can get very sick. You need sugar to some degree. We are evolved a desire for sugar because we need it and because it is quick, easy, efficient calories. Now we have extreme access to it, and that extreme access to something we evolved to crave is what the actual issue is, not just sugar in any amount as you've just put it.
Well, and it's not just the sugar that's in these things though either.
Great, but you brought up the sugar. You said the sugar was poison. You said the sugar was the poison.
Well, it's not even that.
Juice contains apple.
I was comparing it to alcohol, which is what
apple juice contains apples and water.
There are studies that are saying that any amount of alcohol is bad for your system. And
name the study.
by that notion, I don't have any. Come on, I don't have any studies off the top of my head.
Then
Hold
why
on,
would you say there
name
are
a
studies that
study.
show it if you don't have any to cite?
I don't even mind it. I already gave you the benefit of the doubt. I granted you that study.
Studies that show alcohol
Daniel.
causes that,
Hey,
that
Daniel.
doesn't cause any addition to life.
Daniel.
That's what he just said.
Hey, Daniel.
Why do I need to look up the study?
Daniel. I granted you that study exists and still responded that things aren't as straightforward as you're bringing it. Alcohol and sugar do not have similar studies that show the same. I agree. There is no amount of alcohol that is good for your body and at a very low level, in the same way that you could say a person who has acid reflux can't get a good amount of foods that cause acid reflux because they'll always have acid reflux. But having acid reflux does not mean that you are necessarily going to get throat cancer, though some percentage of people do. And the more you do it in excess, the more you raise your risk. And people will still, when faced with that, go, you know what? That risk is still worth eating whatever, tomato sauce or whatever it is. I already granted you the study and explained to you why it's not that straightforward, and then pointed out no such study for sugar exists. So even if we pretended you were right about your conclusions about a longer life, if you were drinking 2 ounces of alcohol a week in a social setting, which is more than enough that your body can confidently heal from without having any long-term damage, which, by the way, alcoholism, a lot of the things that cause the damage is the tendency toward long periods of dehydration as well. You know, just in case people want to actually cover their bases, drinking alcohol anyway. Alcoholism is kind of a different thing. Alcohol and sugar are different things. You didn't understand the alcohol thing, and you are now claiming things about sugar for which, again, the science does not back you on. And then you wanted to go, okay, but there are other things in it. If you want to switch off of sugar, fine. Switch off of sugar after you admit you don't know enough to be sure that sugar is a poison.
So the only thing that I'm finding when it says studies consistently show is that high sugar intake is detrimental to health.
Correct.
Different.
No one disagrees with that in the entire world.
No one.
Sorry.
No doctor in the entire world disagrees that high sugar intake is bad for you. Just like obesity is bad for you. And obesity can occur with a lot of different things, but sugar is the one that is the easiest to do. I have almost no sugar in my life, but I've put on like 20 pounds in the last 6 months after losing a ton of weight. And yet with very, very little sugar in my diet. So once again, excessive sugar is not the problem. Is the problem.
Then can we agree that it is a good thing that Florida is deciding to do more farm to table and remove the sugary things? It's also a good thing.
Farm to table has nothing to do with how much sugar is in it. And also, none of this is MAGA. Florida is a state. The federal government isn't doing any of it. I believe that hospitals should have a robust menu for their people to choose from. And that should be built off of a Medicare for all system where having people healthy is the number one priority. And so they should have good whole foods that they can have. I don't want a hospital feeding a person a lot of packaged, ultra-processed foods. I want them to be eating good food. I'm also not going to say remove the snack machine from the hallway for the people who want them, or even if the patients want a snack. I'm not going to do that either. That is different from, because we've identified that sugar is poison, you should have healthy food options at a hospital for the same reason we should have healthy food options at schools. But when Michelle Obama tried to do that shit, y'all canceled her.
Yeah, it's like the same thing that happened in 2010.
That was who?
Coca-Cola, the sugar industry.
The right canceled her. The right canceled her.
It was called the Move Away from Sugar movement. That's what it was called, the Move Away from Sugar movement. And then it changed.
Children should eat less sugar. That's true.
Yeah.
Children should eat less sugar. That's true.
I don't know if you noticed, but her movement went from let's move away from sugar to let's move. And then they made everything about being fitness and getting activity, when that's not just the thing. Your diet is very important. What you put in your body
it is absolutely incredible that you are acknowledging that basically when she tried to make it about food, she got utterly shit on, and essentially because it was so unpopular because of the propaganda campaign that Fox News and the right did, getting also 2 Congress people who basically were like, these guys lobby for me. I'm making money. I'm not going to do shit. That essentially she was like, well, Guess we can't do that. It's like you're blaming Hillary Clinton for the fact that universal health care didn't pass under Bill Clinton, because Hillary tried to do a universal health care bill under Clinton, Bill, the two different bills. It's fucking confusing words. We got to get back. We need more words. Anyway, and you're going to blame her for giving up after the Congress and the people shut it down. She tried. The assholes who served the millionaires shut it down, and then she went, cool, with what I have left, I guess we'll go with exercise. You are fucking insane, Daniel.
Do you You're gonna insult me, really? You're gonna?
Yeah, dude, I am. I am. You are time after time. You are time after time with confidence presenting every single thing you have presented so far. After complaining about, well, I don't do this full time. You don't have a single educated opinion. You haven't shared a single robust, well-educated, well-supported opinion. Period. So where does urine come from?
So you don't. Where does urine come from? My dick. What are you talking about?
No.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ, the dick.
Did he just say that?
Where does it come from in women?
It comes from their urethra. What do you mean?
Okay, finally. Thank goodness.
That part,
Thank goodness. Thank goodness we got there.
Exits the body.
I just wanted to know if you were the same guy who last week told Forrest that girl pee comes from the uterus.
Oh my God.
No, not the same guy.
I was just getting the vibe, man.
Why are men so?
You did say a pee comes from the dick.
What do you think about the study in the 1960s where the sugar industry paid Harvard scientists to publish research blaming fat for heart disease? What do you think about that study?
I think that it's great that we have good science that eventually counters those things, and that now we are on guard, because in the 1960s, we didn't know that those types of things happen. So the occurrence of studies that go and searching for the answer they want are much easier to identify, and you get leftist and fact-based people like Ari and myself on shows when people call in about those studies about how vaping or whatever is actually healthy for you, who are aware of the sample size or the problems with the studies. And in fact, that's one of the few good things about the internet, because we have democratized basically a level of intermediate peer review, but also introducing peer review in general and requiring peer review in general has helped stop those types of things from happening.
Okay, great. Let me just ask a quick follow-up to that question. So the sugar industry had a hold on science back in the 1960s. Do you think that grasp has gotten tighter, or do you think that grasp has gotten looser?
Definitely looser.
So you think that with the influx of the amount of money that's come into the sugar industry...
That wasn't your question. These are different questions. It's a different question.
This is a follow-up. So you realize that the tobacco industry, once they got canceled, basically, right? No advertising on TV, no advertising in kids' magazines, all of these things, that those scientists, the ones that learned how to make tobacco or their cigarettes addictive, they moved over to the food industry, learned how to make that shit addictive.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, just on the surface level, I don't trust any of your storytelling because of everything we've gone through so far. But whether or not marketing people, you're not going to talk over me, Daniel, whether or not marketing people have been involved with not a campaign to get sugar, but an excess of sugar, to take financial advantage of people's addictions and make sure that poor people are giving their money to rich people for the convenience of quick calories that are satiating and delicious, is not hard for me to believe. Your question was, do I believe they're basically more power or less powerful? And I answered less powerful. And the reason is, Daniel, the way you then did your follow-up was very disingenuous. There are more counter powers at play than there were back then. So back then, there weren't people there to call them on their shit. There weren't people there peer reviewing. They were able to bypass a lot of those processes. So while marketing and addiction shit has gotten worse, we are seeing the biggest consequences of those in more unregulated places. The places that MAGA and MAHA are looking to unregulate further, like social media, like labeling foods. The right is against labeling origins of foods.
what do you think of big pharma?
Oh gosh.
I'm a fucking socialist. What do you think I think of big pharma? I literally this week was telling people that we should take GLP-1 drugs from big pharma, and if they resist, we kill them. Hypothetically, I have to add.
How could you take a drug
By
from
force?
them? I don't
By
understand
force. By force.
that. And what would be the benefit of people taking the GLP-1? Aren't there side effects to
GLP-1
that?
drugs would be the single biggest health improvement we have ever seen in the country. Right now, obesity and obesity-related disease are the number one things both killing us, reducing our own productivity, and keeping the masses like completely in just a state of trying to survive with less access to their brain power, their ability to. It literally makes you less active and less, I don't want to say intelligent. Your brain is still there, but you're experiencing more brain fog and shit. And GLP-1 drugs would reduce the amount that people are eating. They would be satiated quicker. They would lose weight. Obesity would plummet. And GLP-1s, right now, it is the equivalent of a company figuring out a cheap way to cure cancer with a single shot once a week, and you never have cancer, and your cancer is just cured, and they're just keeping it. It is at that level of number of people who would not die, and they're keeping it. And this drug that costs them less than $10 a month for a month's dose, they are charging over $1,000 to access. That is the height of immoral bullshit, and we should take it. And if they don't want to give it to us, we should do it by force, whatever that takes, hypothetically.
Yeah, I totally. I don't think that we should be paying the most money for any of our drugs. We have.
You voted for MAGA, or you're on board with MAGA, and MAGA is not good for healthcare in this country.
We are the most medicated country on the planet, yet we pay more for prescription drugs than any other nation.
I don't know why you're explaining this to me. I'm positive, based on how educated you've been on all of your topics so far, I know this topic better than you, since I do back up my values with data and information.
So we spend more money than everybody else, right?
About 20% of our GDP.
Okay, so
18.
What do you think of the First Nation
I said about
pricing?
20. You pedantic asshole.
Sorry. I do it to everybody. I can't leave you off.
I had it about because you were here.
Yeah.
Wait, so it's not 20, it's 19? Well, I didn't hear the joke.
18% of our GDP last year.
Is how much money consumers...
I said about 20.
Sorry, I'm exact.
Let's say a full 20.
No.
No?
Jimmy
Okay,
can,
18,
not
18,
you. It's
I'm not teaming up with you against Ari. I'm going to switch to Team 18 if you're on my side now.
What do you think of the First Nation pricing? What do you think of that?
What do I think of the First Nation what?
It's called First Nation pricing.
And what are you describing that as?
Well, First Nation pricing is something that was negotiated by President Trump to make it so that we can get the lowest prices on pharmaceutical drugs and not
no, it isn't.
pay the highest.
If you're talking about Trump RX, no, it isn't. Donald Trump with Trump RX essentially replicated exactly what Mark Cuban was doing with his thing.
No, it's something that Donald Trump...
Most favored nation. I'm sorry. Most favored nation drug pricing. Not First Nation pricing. It's called Most Favored Nation drug pricing agreements with 16 manufacturers.
Yeah. What do I think about Donald? So the question is, what do I think about what Donald Trump has said we should do, but has never delivered? Donald Trump has never delivered and will never deliver this and Donald Trump is not. Jesus fucking Christ! You are never going to successfully talk over me. Just because you've decided I don't want to stop talking because I've heard Jimmy start, doesn't mean it's going to work. Donald Trump is not going to accomplish that. Donald Trump does a lot of executive orders that he knows are going to go nowhere and can't even succeed. There is not going to be America is suddenly the lowest, because keep in mind his executive order was signed in 2025. Why are we now in 2026 not paying the lowest prices, despite the fact that we allegedly got agreements from Pfizer and AstraZeneca and Eli Lilly? What's the other dumb one? Novadisk? Is that a birth control?
So there is one that starts with N.
Nordisk.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, there's Nordisk and there's Novo, and I combined them.
Yeah, and it like Jimmy said, it's an executive order. Who do
And we
executive?
shouldn't. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was just gonna ask if he knew who executive orders manage, or what, like, who they tell, like, who does things when there's an executive order written.
Right. Who is directed by an executive order? If Donald Trump puts out an executive order, who must adhere to that executive order? We'll start there. Daniel, when an executive order drops, who must abide by the executive order?
Something just beeped. Was that for me?
Yeah, I was telling me I was unmuting you.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So who's affected by an executive order?
Yes. Who is directed by? There's a group of people. If Donald Trump says Pfizer must make all of the drugs only cost plus 10%, he signs that into an executive order. Who is now directed to follow that executive order?
Wouldn't that be the drug companies?
Nope. Donald Trump cannot issue an executive order to Pfizer or any drug company.
So it was a trick question.
No, it's not.
You're literally talking about the most favored nation drug pricing, which is an executive order that you think directs drug companies to lower prices.
Yeah.
An executive order can't be directed at drug companies. So who can they be directed at?
Hold on. You're saying that the First Nation pricing was an executive order?
Last year, May of 2025. And guess what didn't happen? Drugs didn't get cheaper. And by the way, I am not for anything that's short term is going to help people out, as long as that person is working toward the long-term goal of Medicare for all. That I would give a pass on. Donald Trump is trying to keep healthcare private, period. So I don't care if you made it quote unquote cheaper, unless cheaper is a step that we have to do today, because next month we're going to be passing Medicare for all. The fact that we have for-profit healthcare in this country at all is fucking disgusting. And he was still interested in maintaining them. But anyway, who is bound by executive orders?
It should actually be called a sick care. It should be called a sick care system, because it's not a healthcare system.
Great, Daniel. Nice quip. Nice soundbite. Hey, I'm gonna start listing off people, and I'm just gonna say a group or a name of people, and you tell me whether they are or are not bound by an executive order, and pretend the executive order names them specifically. So if I say the group is, the Lumineers, are the Lumineers, and they're in the executive order. The executive order says the Lumineers must never play a song in Harlem. Who is actually bound by that? That's going to be it. All right, I'm going to start doing this. You're going to tell me, are they bound or are they not bound by an executive order? Let's start with private citizens. Can executive orders be bound by private citizens?
No.
Can private citizens be bound by executive orders?
Can private citizens be bound by executive orders?
No.
Can military personnel?
Yes, they're part of the federal.
Can federal contractors?
Well, that's a tricky one, because they work for the federal government, but they're independent. I'd say no.
Yes, federal contractors can be bound by them. Can private businesses be bound by an executive order? Can a state government be bound by an executive order?
I'd say no.
Can Congress be bound by an executive order?
Yes.
Incorrect. They are a separate branch. This is what checks and balances are for. Can a federal agency or federal department be bound by an executive order?
Yes.
Yes, right, because they're federal. Can federal courts be bound by an executive order?
Well, I think the courts are separate, right? So no.
Can federal courts be bound by an executive order?
They're federal though. Okay. So no. So yes.
No, they can't. You were right the first time. They are a separate branch.
My first answer. You tricked me. Come on, man.
I wasn't tricking you. You were saying more than yes or no, and I like to get straight to the question.
Okay. All right.
We've now gone through it. People who can be bound, federal agencies and departments, federal employees, federal contractors, military. People who cannot be bound, private citizens, private businesses, state governments, Congress, federal courts. If Donald Trump issues an executive order saying pharmaceutical companies must give America the preferred nation pricing, the best nation pricing, does that law have any power?
Hang on. I'm thinking. Because they're private companies.
Right.
The only problem is that they're getting federal subsidies. That makes it like they're kind of like federal contractors. And you said federal contractors. Was it federal contract? Yeah, the federal contractors were bound. But they're still private companies.
He'll get there,
It's a
guys.
tricky question.
It's not.
I'd have to say no, but that makes
Correct. The
See how-
answer
see how
is
fucked up
no.
that
They
is,
are
though?
bound by their contracts, and their contracts don't include a
Oh,
clause
God.
of Donald Trump can just change the thing with an executive order. No one would agree to that. You get these subsidies now, but later the president might require different things of you. No company would agree to that because that shit would change every time office changed hands. We couldn't even, Donald Trump didn't even have the power to get rid of the contracts for Starlink when he wanted to after he and Elon got all in their fight, despite the fact that he was exploring doing that shit. My guy, Daniel, you need to actually go and get an opinion based in something other than your vibes. This call has already gone on for way too long, so you can give your final thoughts now, and then we are moving on.
Final thoughts are, thank you for letting me make my points. Thank you for, having a little bit of fun here and there. We kind of went back at it, but at the end of the day, I'd still say that at this point, with all of the lies that were told, really on both sides, but it just seems more lies from the
You got 10
from
more
the
seconds.
left. Did you guys hear about the lady, the detransitioner suing, and she won $2 million
3,
for
2,
detransitioning?
1.
There you go. That's the one I'll
Cool.
end on.
Goodbye.
No, I can't with.
I love the, I'm going to try and squeeze in a D-trans bullshit point that I also don't have well researched or am at all well understood. And I'm going to try and see if I can knock a stray, make sure I can hit trans people with a stray, even though that wasn't even a topic we remotely covered on here.
He has no research, just
0.
conspiracy theories, and
Correct.
he's like, I don't even know. I think he's the one that got the poison chocolate milk. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Raymond in California. Raymond, you're on the line with Ari and Jimmy. Raymond, how old are you?
Hey, I'm 38.
Raymond, in the last 3 elections that included Donald Trump, who did you vote for?
Kind of lean towards MAGA.
All 3 times?
Yeah.
Okay. And would you like our audience, which right now has 1,439 people watching live on YouTube and alleged people also watching on TikTok, would you like them to refer to you as a he, a she, a they, or something else?
Doesn't really matter.
Sure it does. It matters to me because I asked. The same way if you come into my house and I ask you to take off my shoes, you don't get to say it doesn't really matter. So he will work. Good. Excellent. Moving on. All right. Raymond, you're calling in to say that you support what Trump is doing in Iran. He went in and did what everybody has been saying. So my first question to you is, did Donald Trump run on a platform of no new wars with Iran and no new wars, period? Or did he run on a platform of war with Iran?
He ran on a platform of making America great.
And did he run on, Raymond, your question was, did he run on a platform that included no new wars, specifically a war with Iran, or did he run on a platform of new wars?
Yeah, he said that he wasn't going to go to war with Iran, but that's
Right.
exactly what,
Yeah.
it's like, yes. But
Did he
Obama
also
say
say,
he was gonna pull
I'm
out of
sorry,
Iraq?
hang on, Raymond.
Oh my God.
Did he also say, and did his campaign also say, and did J.D. Vance, his vice president, also say, the reason you should not vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for Iran.
Yeah, but at the same time, they were talking about we were gonna attack it too in their other speeches too.
No, they
they
weren't.
they were gonna say it too.
Well,
No, they
well,
weren't.
Jimmy,
He did say in 2016. I mean, he attacked them in 2016. You know,
Who
he
attacked
them
them?
Who
Who attacked them? Hey, Raymond.
In that
Raymond.
term, he was
Raymond.
attacking them.
Raymond, who attacked Iran in 2016?
During his term from 2016 to 2020.
Who is his?
Trump, obviously, unless it was a different president. During that
What
time
month in 2016 was Donald
Oh,
Trump the
God.
president?
I'm not saying. Like,
What was the first day of Donald Trump's term? First term. What was the date of the first day of his term?
I don't know, but I just know in his first term.
What year was
they
it?
They were talking about it.
What year was the date of Donald Trump's first term?
Why don't you tell me? I don't know.
Well, you said when he was president in 2016, attacked Iran. Was Donald Trump the president in 2016?
last I remember,
Did he have a first term? Did he have a,
Yeah.
which term was he?
He sure did. He sure did have a first term. What year did that term start?
I don't know. You have to tell me.
oh,
2017, bud.
Okay.
January
okay,
20th to be exact, because
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
So
in
Donald Trump-
we're in the same basically time frame, right? You know, his
I don't know
you
if
1,
I
2,
said
3,
Donald
then a
Trump
couple.
attacked Iran in 2016 when he was president, and it was pointed out to me that Donald Trump at no point in 2016 was president, I would be worried if I was talking to me that guy has no idea what he's even talking about. But yes, you are quite right that we have suspected that when his ratings tank and he needs a good distraction, or he's worried about an election that he needs to get to go his way, we have known for a long time that war with Iran was on the table. At no point did I believe he was telling the truth when he said no war with Iran. Raymond, are you driving right now?
No, why would it matter if I was? But I'm not driving.
Because we're not talking to you. Yes, you are driving right now. Are you going to pull over?
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm pulled over, but it's not even me driving. They think I'm driving.
You were driving, Raymond.
How many sheets to the wind are you?
What are you talking about? I mean,
How high are you right now, Raymond?
I'm not even high. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know why it matters.
Are you just
these
drunk?
Semantics. Do these semantics really matter in the debate?
These aren't
Semantics?
semantics.
Semantics, right? Right.
That's
That's
not
all
it.
it is, right?
Hey,
Because I
when
was saying,
when I'm drawing my schematic, where do I put the air conditioner in a warehouse?
I don't know. I mean, in the military, they put them anywhere where it could fit, right?
Schematics.
How many sperm
Yeah,
is supposed to
that's
be
what
in my schemans?
I mean, well, you don't think that this is a good thing? You don't think this is a good thing? What's going on?
Correct.
I will
Why
say
don't you
this
think
is
it's
the
a good
only.
thing?
This is the only
Why don't you
thing.
think it's a good thing?
Hold on, Raymond. I'm talking. Quiet for a second, please. Jimmy, this is the only thing that JD Vance had right?
And still
And I'm
seems
sure
to. He seems to not actually support this war.
Yeah, he doesn't at all. But like, I'm
Maybe-
sure you've. I'm talking,
Raymond, also, you need to stop driving and take us off speaker because we can hear everything. You stop driving. I know you're the one driving because when you use your blinker, I can hear it, which means it's close to the microphone. So take us off speaker and stop driving.
Hear
I
the
don't
wind
have
and
that
everything.
speaker.
Okay, keep telling yourself that, buddy. Anyways, so and I know you've probably seen this on your feed somewhere, Jimmy, but JD Vance was right. Me voting for Kamala Harris did in fact lead us to a war with Iran.
That's
Because it did
true.
happen.
That's true. Yeah. That is what happened. I voted for Harris, and now we're at war with Iran. That's a good observation. Raymond, have you decided to actually pull over and stop driving?
Yeah, I don't know why that matters because I'm not driving. I mean,
Because we do not take calls with people who are driving, and yes, you are. And so
It's
since you're just going to
unsafe,
keep
dude.
lying, we're just going to move on. Goodbye, Raymond.
hey, talk to him and say I'm not driving. What? Yeah, is it?
Oh, this ain't even any better.
I don't care.
No, I know you don't care. I'm just
No,
saying,
no,
like,
not
that was
about
for
you. I don't
him.
care what
Like,
he's saying.
yeah, like that doesn't make it any better.
Jesus
Asking
Christ.
your whoever in the car.
Michaela in Texas, you're on the line with Jimmy and Ari. How are you, Michaela? Michaela, Texas, are you on the line? Michaela.
Sorry, I was on
There
mute.
you are.
My bad.
Michaela in Texas, on the
Hello.
line,
Kill that
pronouns
one.
she, her. Michaela, how old are you?
I am 32.
In the last 3 elections with Donald Trump, who did you vote for?
Last election I voted for Biden. This election I voted for Trump.
And in the one with Hillary versus Trump, who did you vote for?
I voted for Hillary.
So you went Hillary, then Biden, then Trump. What a
Yes.
world. All right,
know.
well, make your case.
To what?
Make your case. You called in with a point you wanted to make.
All right, so I believe like Trump has polarized like the political sphere. Like it's made it black and white essentially. And it has moved people into one category or the next.
Like fascist or anti-fascist?
Essentially.
And you think that's a good thing?
I think good is relative based on who you're talking to.
What do you think? What do you hope the outcome of Donald Trump as president is?
Honestly, I'm hoping for change.
What kind of change?
Like a systemic change, like a total change.
Right. What would be one of those systemic changes? Like healthcare would change?
That would be cool. But
okay, well, what's more important than healthcare to change then? That would be your priority.
Quality of life.
Okay. And you believe that quality of life will be
healthcare.
better because Donald Trump was elected. So let's go through that. Take me through how Donald Trump being elected ends with quality of life for Americans going up.
I want to start this off by saying I don't necessarily think he's going about it the correct way, but I think the ends justify the means.
Great. What ends are we headed toward?
So,
lower gas prices?
No.
Okay. Affordable health care? He just let the subsidies expired and has not replaced it with anything. So people are losing their insurance at record rates, and thousands more are predicted to lose their insurance this year. So would you say
yes?
Is healthcare getting cheaper with him or more expensive?
That was
okay, great.
Kind of terrible.
Okay, great. So not healthcare, not gas prices, less wars?
Well, not so much not healthcare, not gas prices. Like all that kind of all in
yes,
one.
so much those things. Yes, so much those things. Those things have gotten worse as a result of his presidency. Direct line. Usually presidents can't even affect gas prices the amount he's affected gas prices. He has uniquely affected gas prices more than the president directly can do. So no, yes, very much those things. So not healthcare, not gas prices. All right, well, let's move on to the next one. More affordable groceries?
Yeah, cost of living is something that needs to change.
Which direction is it going right now? Second year into his administration, up or down?
Right now, it's going very, very bad. But
Right.
I feel
Okay.
like,
So he's not fixing that. What's his plan to fix that?
Directly with that,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie.
So we don't know his
don't
plan to
know.
make gas prices go down. We don't know his plan to make healthcare cheaper. We don't know how his plan to make cost of living, and we just went with groceries on this one. What about cost of rent? Like rent and and housing costs. Are those going up or down?
They're going up.
What's his plan to bring those down?
I haven't seen anything directly from him.
Okay. So what is a single thing you can name like what we're naming right now? Because you said he's going to make things better and the ends would justify the means. So if the ends was cheaper gas prices, you would then tell me how he's going to, but it's not that. It's not cheaper gas prices. It's not healthcare. It's not cost of living. It's not rent. It's not cost of healthcare. It's none of those things. What is it? What end will his presidency give us since it's none of those things?
So I feel like his presidency right now is just like a starting point, right?
Okay.
So
in the right direction?
Not necessarily in the right direction, but in the
okay,
direction
then I agree.
That it needs to go.
I agree that no. You said direction it needs to go. I agree it's not in the right direction. You said direction it needs to go. I would say it's in the direction of fascism. Less freedom.
I would say that it's not in the direction that it needs to go.
Okay.
But it can transition into the direction that it needs to go.
Why go with a person who's constantly not putting us in the direction we need to go, and why not go with a politician who at least is saying things in the direction we do need to go? Donald Trump. Go ahead.
Mainly because most politicians
yes.
that are going in the direction that you say that they need to go never
yes.
actually go in that direction.
Okay, so we get status quo. Is status quo better?
Mainly due to lobbying.
Great.
So
okay, so basically, Michaela, and I think I agree with this, so let me see if I can summarize it in a way you agree with. The financial incentive to be a corrupt politician is so high that we need somebody else because the politicians are in it for the money. And we need somebody else to do what's right who isn't in it for the money, right? I'm probably
more so that the lobbying incentivizes these people to
with what?
Do the
what do they use to incentivize them?
Honestly,
no, wait, Michaela. What do they use to incentivize them?
Money.
Money, right. So money is the problem. Let me ask you, Michaela.
Yes.
In Donald Trump's first term, did he get richer or poorer?
Richer.
By how much?
A lot.
How
I don't
much?
know like the exact amount, but
Let's just go with
would wager 4 times.
Go with a multiplier.
4 times.
No, it was doubled. He doubled his net worth in his first term. How much do you think he's done in the first year of his second term? How much do you think he has further done it in just 1 year of his second term?
3 times.
No, he doubled it again in just 1 year. The first time it took the whole term, and now he's doubled it again. So, Michaela, the country's not going in the right direction, and you identify that money is the problem. And Donald Trump is the most paid, corrupt, money-first politician to ever play the game. So I'm going to now let you talk this over with Ari, because you have said this is the guy and you can't name a single good thing he's done.
Well, one of the great things he's done is test our constitutional barriers.
I saw that, and I don't. Did you like Woodrow Wilson when you were in school? Did you like Woodrow Wilson?
Come again?
When you were in high school or middle school, I don't know which year, I don't remember what year I was taught about the presidents. Did you like former President Woodrow Wilson?
Honestly, I don't know about Woodrow Wilson.
Okay. So he's one of the like historians have basically all agreed that he is literally in the bottom 3 of all presidents throughout history. All 46 presidents that we've ever had. He is consistently ranked in the bottom 3, specifically because he was pushing against the constitutional barriers by trying to extend the powers of the executive branch past what's allowed in the Constitution.
Yeah, so I have a similar question, Michaela. So Donald Trump is great because he's done a great job showing us what happens when you push against the Constitution, right?
He's done a great job showing the weaknesses in the constitutional layout.
And that makes him a great president, yes?
That makes him a good president for the time.
Okay, great. Was Hitler a good president for his time?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say
Hitler
no.
Hitler
mainly due to
systemically
fact
gutted the
that-
Constitution of Germany from the inside using its own legal mechanisms.
Yes,
He
I'm
did
gonna say
exactly
no,
what you are describing
mainly
makes
due-
Donald Trump a good president. So I ask you again, if Donald Trump is a good president for gutting the Constitution with the Constitution, was Hitler a good president for gutting their Constitution with the Constitution?
Seeing what Germany was when Hitler was your president, as opposed to what it is now, is Germany better off than it was back then?
After, wait. Yes. Are you trying to make an accelerationist point? Because there's several tens of millions of dead people who might tell you it wasn't worth it. Michaela, how many dead Jews was it worth letting Hitler have the presidency? Was it worth not resisting and letting Germany go through Hitler? How many dead Jews was it okay that was the method? And how many dead Jews or Mexicans or brown people will it be okay to die because of Donald Trump's testing of the Constitution?
0.
And yet they've already begun dying. And they've already begun going to concentration camps.
Hell,
and they've already begun facing systemic oppression.
Yeah, like
no
our
shit,
United States
defending it.
citizens have been killed.
I'm not defending that.
Yes,
But
you
what
are.
I will say
Yes, you are.
is
You're watching
that-
Auschwitz and saying, but what's going to come next? So worth these dead Jews.
I'm not saying that, but what
Yes,
I
you
am
are.
saying is that medical progression progressed a lot further due to the Nazi scientists experimenting on people for human health.
Experimenting. Yeah.
So how many Jews does that buy them?
terrible
How
and
many dead Jews does that
unacceptable.
buy them?
Yes.
Hey, how many?
It was
Or we could do
terrible and
queers.
unacceptable,
We could do
yes,
queers.
but it
How
did
many
progress.
dead queers was that worth?
0.
And yet
they
you're
killed
sitting
them.
here going like, it wasn't worth any dead queers, but medicine under the Nazis did go forward. So let's not forget that. If you could press a switch and those genocides didn't happen, but we lost the medical the progress, would you flip that switch?
Yes.
And then why are you bringing it up as a positive? You're trying to silver lining genocide.
Because it
You don't even know
happened.
you're an
Like, it
accelerationist,
happened-
but you are the
I'm just saying,
lowest
like,
of
it
the low
happened
with the
and
accelerationism.
That happened because of it.
Sure, and you're
Like, I
currently
can't change the
participating in the
past.
next one. Here, not even a century
can't
later,
Change
you're going,
the past.
right, you can
But
change the future, and you voted for
you can
Trump,
learn
and you're
from it.
MAGA. You voted for Hitler, knowing what happened last time Hitler had power, and saying, well, I can't change the past, and even if that happens again with Trump, that medical science we got out of Hitler, that was pretty good. That's pretty good stuff. That came at the
was
cost
pretty
of
good, but-
torturing people. That medical science that
But-
included trying to force people's eye color to change. That medical science that was deep in eugenics, and the medical science of what's the most efficient way to kill a room full of Jews.
Some of the stuff Trump does is terrible. Like the
And
ICE
genocidal.
Stuff I don't agree with. I don't want.
Right.
I don't like.
Has Donald Trump
Right.
participated in genocide?
So, like, America is built on diversity. It is the melting pot, or at least it was
Not under
back
Donald
when I was
Trump.
growing up. Not anymore. No, it's not.
I think
You're
we're
right
trying to
about
take the
that.
pico de gallo out of the salsa.
You're
That's
right
not
about
funny.
that. Like, I don't agree with any
I'm
of
also
that.
right that you shouldn't have
Like,
voted
it
for
takes
Trump and that you support
diversity to
fascism and
make
genocide.
greatness, honestly.
Right. So what is the so you keep saying basically like, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you believe that
I might be an isolationist, honestly, apparently.
Accelerationist.
you're not an
Or
isolationist.
accelerationist, my bad.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is the better outcome that you're looking for that somehow all of the bad that you've acknowledged that Donald Trump is actively participating in is being outweighed by the future potential? What is that future potential? What does
The
that world
future
look like?
potential is the people in this country who changed, I guess. I don't know how else to explain that. Things can't keep going the way that they were.
What way is that?
It wasn't working.
What way is that?
The way that, let's see,
Periodic cyclical raises of fascism that then end up dooming an entire population and committing massive genocides on a cycle. Is that the way things were?
I'm against genocide 100%.
Why'd you vote for it?
I didn't necessarily vote for genocide.
What did you
I
vote for
voted
then?
for
Because you already said
change.
he's not helping. He's not changing anything positively.
not.
So you just voted change for change's sake? Doesn't have to be positive change. Negative change is good with you too?
Something has to change. Like,
Why?
anything has to change. Because
I
the way
agree,
that
but why?
things have been
Why
going
does it have to change?
have not been working.
I believe
at
things
all.
have to change too. I want you to articulate why they need
And
to
I
change.
don't want people to get hurt, and I know that they have. And like,
And
I
you
get
knew
it.
that they would when you voted for Trump.
Terrible. I get it. It's terrible.
Yes,
I don't
your
want
vote
people to
was
get
terrible.
hurt.
You did a terrible,
Also,
malicious
the way
thing that
things
is
were,
hateful
people
toward
were
women,
still getting
queers.
hurt. So how do you balance, like, which hurt outweighs the other hurt? Like, which good
You
is
literally
better
do
than the
that.
other good,
You
or
do a
which bad is
balancing.
worse than the other bad?
Sure, you audit it because that is your choice. The lesser of two evils.
You
And we
audit it,
knew
sure.
going
And the
into it
way
that
things
Kamala
were,
Harris
everything
was the
still
lesser of two
steadily
evils.
going downhill.
Jesus Christ.
Just because Kamala Harris says, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to give, first home buyer tax credits. I'm going to give
Mm-hmm.
child care credit.
As opposed to, I'm going to give Israel everything they want to finish the job. Right. Those are the differences.
That wasn't, like, in the campaign. Like, that
Yes, it
wasn't
was.
what
It
he
was.
running
Excuse me.
on,
Yes, it was.
I'm going to
It
give
was.
Israel
Donald Trump was
everything
talking
they
like a
need to
genocidal
finish the job.
maniac. Donald Trump was talking about doing whatever and doing anything it takes to end the Gaza war and giving and empowering Israel further.
And
Kamala
then
Harris
after,
did the normal, they have a right to exist and defend themselves bullshit.
Yeah.
Both were bad and steeped in genocide. One was worse.
And then even after Donald Trump was inaugurated into office, he
give you
started
that.
posting AI videos of Trump Gaza, making Gaza the new Mar-a-Lago.
Which, between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, which one bragged on multiple occasions and then when it was brought up, doubled down on being a dictator on day one?
Donald Trump.
Which one showed constant admiration for strongmen and lamented often that he didn't
Donald
have
Trump.
the power of dictators? Yeah, no shit, Michaela.
Donald Trump.
You're answering these questions like
Yeah.
they're so simple. Why didn't you fucking remember that in November of 2024?
Because
Something had to change. Kamala Harris isn't Joe Biden. and then you work toward the
I'm not
actual change you
saying
want.
Kamala
Well, on the
Harris is
day in
Joe Biden.
November when
Honestly,
you
I think
vote,
Joe Biden
you vote
was
amongst
better than
Michaela.
Kamala
Stop.
Harris.
Stop. We can talk about that in a moment. On the day you vote between the two choices you have. Then you work toward it's what we're doing right fucking now. You work toward the change in the lead up. And once you get to the vote, once again, you're going to often not get the person you want, and you vote for the best one you can get out of it. And Donald Trump was not better than Kamala Harris, as you've already been fucking acknowledging.
Yeah,
It's absolutely silly.
It really like confuses me how people, and I mean someone like her that is now realizing today that she might be an accelerationist, how they don't understand why the primary reason that leftists vote for the Democratic Party is for harm reduction, because maintaining the status quo as it always has been does less damage than making sweeping one-sided policy initiatives that go after marginalized communities or communities as a whole that aren't even marginalized, like going after women, which is about 51% of the country's population, and the way that this administration continues to do. It just, you voted for the opposite. You voted for the most harmful policies, and Trump was never quiet about it.
So, Michaela, as I take you off mute, your question is going to be, did your life become more or less threatened, as in the chances that you will die violently in America because of American source violence? Did it go up or down because of the election of Donald Trump? I'm now unmuting you.
Hello?
Yes, Michaela, the question is, are you more, less, or the same in danger of dying violently in America with Donald Trump having been elected?
As a trans woman, it went skyrocketing high.
So why would you dare vote for accelerationism if you know yours has gone up, so has your friends, so has your family? And why are you so sure, Michaela, that in America, in the modern day, with all of the technology that exists now, that if fascism takes hold, that if Hitler rose to power today, like it's kind of looking like, that next time Hitler loses still, as I've stated, the facts seem to show if Twitter had existed in the 30s, Hitler would have won.
Why would you vote for somebody, she's not processing,
Yeah,
that
she's not responding.
Yeah, $215 million targeting your community?
No, I mean,
Specifically, the transgender
right.
community was targeted by the RNC spending $215 million in 2024 alone, just in the last 6 months.
Do you believe that as a result of Donald Trump being elected, trans women are more likely to be accepted, let's say 30 years from now, since you're an accelerationist, 30 years from now, they're more likely to be accepted in society?
Yes.
Why?
Because as time goes on and people are exposed to it, people generally get more accepting of new things.
But that has nothing to do with Donald Trump. You just described a change that isn't Trump adjacent. Here's my problem. I agree with what you just said, except for that Trump is president. And I'm not convinced the fascists aren't going to win this thing. I think 30 years from now, because Donald Trump is the president, it might be more likely that being trans is illegal. Literally, Idaho has passed a bill that makes it a felony that if, Michaela, if you go to Idaho and you use a girl's bathroom 4 times, you are now eligible for life in prison. because they made it
And
a
that's
felony,
wrong.
and Idaho has a 3 strikes felony rule where on the 3rd strike you are eligible for up to life in prison. That's Trump's America that you voted for. And you're sitting there going, well, what? The Germans eventually beat the Nazis? Guess what? The Nazis are back. Right now they're in America, and they're even returning to Germany. We didn't even make it out for a century from these fascists. People are still alive who were alive the last time the fascists were doing their shit, and they're back. The fascists are back. People who fought those fascists are alive still. Not for much longer, but they are. And you're sitting here going, this is going to turn out better, when we don't even know that the outcome of the war with Hitler will have long term have turned out better. And we did some pretty fucking atrocious things in that war ourselves and only look okay compared to the Holocaust. The only reason why people think America was the good guys in that is the Holocaust was so bad. We did some Holocaust level shit in World War II ourselves. I don't know what you are basing any of this on, Michaela. I don't know that you didn't vote wrong in the last election that it will matter and that we're already past the point of no return. But you participated in fucking us and fucking your own community. And I really, really hope you fucking take some time and really think about what you've done and vote for better in the future.
Vote in the midterms, not for Republicans that hate you. They are... Kentucky's trying to pass a bill
but in Texas,
that's declaring you to be mentally... Yeah, I don't know if you're in Kentucky or not. You probably know you're in Texas. Sorry, I was worried.
Texas.
Yeah, well, Kentucky is passing a bill that declares individuals that considers themselves to be transgender to be mentally ill. And then they have the right to institutionalize them.
I don't think that's right. I don't agree with it.
And Jimmy, like, did Texas successfully pass the law that if you identify yourself as something other than your assigned at birth sex to a cop, that you could be arrested? Did they pass that?
I don't know if the law's been passed. I know they've like reversed
As far as I know, no.
licenses, and you no longer have a valid birth certificate and all kinds of shit. It's already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've done crazy things. And it's not right. And not all of it's right. But also, on the other side, they weren't really pushing for things to get better either. They were,
Yes, they were.
lobbying, and
I'm sorry, you are wrong. Yes, they were. There were literally trans people in Biden's administration. And if you're telling me that that is not a recipe for things improving for trans people, even if it doesn't go far enough, I don't know what to say to you. Whereas right now, Donald Trump not only has no trans representation in his administration, he has kicked all trans people out of the military.
Yeah, and
that's terrible. And I agree. But also Kamala Harris was also talking about how they were going to not recognize trans people either. Like,
when?
he was backpedaling on trans rights and all of that as well.
When?
That I don't have.
Cool.
Because it's not true. Because there's... what does that even mean? That they wouldn't be recognized?
Like, legally recognized.
So then my question becomes again, when? You're trying to tell me that during the woman who during her town hall with Chris Cuomo in 2020 was the only person, despite the fact that it was on queer issues, got on stage and said, by the way, my pronouns are she, her, that Kamala Harris in a 4-year cycle surrounded by trans people with trans staff, trans people in the administration. At some point she went, by the way, when I get in, y'all fuckers is going down. That's what I'm meant to believe right now, Michaela?
No.
So who told you that?
God. I don't even know how to say this. Like, I'm sorry. I think I'm just really
I think you need to go
misinformed,
take time to
and
think,
I need
Michaela.
to go look up some stuff. I
I agree.
apologize for wasting y'all's time.
It's all good. Thank you, Michaela.
All right, y'all have a good night.
You too. I'm not doing the pity party there at the end.
That was insanity.
It was. Luthien, if you wouldn't mind, would you bring me a bottle of water? Kevin in Oregon. Kevin in Oregon, you are on the line with Jimmy and Ari. Kevin's already got his pronouns in here as he, him. Says he is an independent. He did call in last time as Green Party, I believe, a Jill Steiner, but I could be wrong. Anyway, Kevin, you're on the line with Jimmy and Ari. What's up?
Oh, hey. I didn't call to rant about climate change. I just want to preface what I want to say with climate change is triggering an abrupt mass extinction event. People think it's about sea level rise.
Are you driving?
There's going to be no.
Are you lying?
No.
Do you know that it sounds like you're driving?
Oh, well, I'm outside. I don't know. Might be. I'm walking.
Are we on speakerphone?
That's probably Bluetooth.
Yeah, it's my earpiece.
Can you take us off your earpiece and hold the phone to your head? No, because you're worried you get pulled over for having a phone while driving?
No, I mean, no, I don't. I'm not going to get pulled over on foot.
Your audio's already improved 10,000%.
So much better.
Yeah, legitimately, I don't hate listening to you now. Anyway, I don't need a monologue about climate change. I know it's pretty terrible. You barely mentioned climate change to our screener. It seems like you think that if we would budge on no bio males in female sports and in bathrooms, that we will be able to solve the climate change crisis.
No, that's not. So I'll explain. Can I just explain it real quick?
Can we go back to your handset since you switched it seemingly back to your earpiece, or the driving has gotten louder that you're pretending you're not doing? When are you going to pull over?
I mean, what?
Pull over.
I'm not driving, man. Okay.
Say something only a person who wasn't driving would know.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but you're definitely driving, and you just started accelerating like a moment ago. I not only can I hear that you're driving, I know what your car is doing. That's how much you're not getting away with this.
Okay.
You ready to pull over?
Okay.
Do you want us to put you on hold and see if you're at your destination in a few minutes?
Well, once I get to my destination, I can't talk after that. So I guess
we'll talk to you another day, Kevin. We don't make distracted drivers. If you died right now, suddenly I look like a dick. So next time, Kevin, we'll talk about how banning trans people will save climate change. We'll talk soon, Kevin. We'll see you later.
That's not no.
Yes, it's called being facetious.
No, I agree. Trans people, you're why climate change. Obviously.
The silly shit that people say.
But watch how I can win them back. See how I look like a dick right now? Watch me win them back right now. And trans people, because y'all so hot. Just saying, the earth can't handle how hot trans people are.
That's why we're the hottest country in the world right now.
That's right.
Because y'all exist.
Yeah, that's why there was no climate change in the past. Because remember, I learned it in Republican school. There wasn't trans people in the past. We have another call on hold. I'll open up other lines in case we have an opportunity. So if you are MAGA or something and you want to call in right now, you probably will get on the air.
Yep.
I would say.
Yeah, like the two that are like going off in my Twitch chat, if you don't want to be muted, then call the number on the screen.
Yeah.
You guys got
a chance.
30 seconds.
But in the meantime, Hunter in Illinois, pronouns he, him. Hunter, how old are you?
What's up, you wrong motherfuckers?
And how old are you?
Oh, I'm 30.
And who did you vote for in the last 2 elections, since I don't think you were eligible for 3?
I didn't vote.
So a non-voting person is calling in to tell us our opinions are wrong in the hopes of what? Swaying our vote when you don't participate?
Yeah. You think all trans people are hot? What about Lily Tino?
I'm sorry. Are you actually going to try to make your call about, can we pull up pictures of people and rate them? Hunter, I can hear you have an underbite. I don't think you should be calling anybody out for their hotness.
Motherfucker.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm a voice actor. You can't hear this. You can hear this,
I can't hear your underbite? I can hear your underbite. I can also hear that you're bald.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nope, you're wrong.
I can hear, you just said, nope, you're wrong. I can hear you have sexually conflicting feelings about, and the first time you said it, I thought it was about your aunt, but it was your uncle. You're sexually confused about how you feel about your uncle.
I think you like it up the butt. I think that's why
I can hear that Hunter is missing his left testicle, so.
Is it a problem if people do like it up the butt? Okay. Hunter, is it a problem if people do like it up the butt?
I like how I said testicle and he thought I said teeth.
I think it's sort of a problem.
Why did God put my prostate up my butt if no one's ever supposed to touch it?
How did God create the world?
Oh, I don't believe God exists, but I'm curious why you believe that there's a problem. Why is there a problem if somebody does? By the way, I'm a top. I don't like things in my butt. I also have intestinal issues.
Yeah,
and so I don't like things in my butt. Anyway, Hunter.
I can tell.
I know, and you have desperate bottom energy, and you feel very confused about how you want to get bottomed by your uncle. I get it, dude. Okay,
and missing his left testicle.
It's okay. Hunter. I'm just telling you why you're wrong.
And apparently missing all of his teeth.
Great. So what am I wrong about, Hunter?
Well, you're wrong about trans people.
What am I wrong about trans people?
Everything you just said. I had to listen to the show to talk to you.
Can you not remember a single thing?
About the bathrooms. If you use bathrooms 5 times in Ohio, what the fuck are you talking
Idaho.
about?
If you, wait. So Hunter, hang on, Hunter.
Hey, I don't
hang
have
on,
a problem with trans people.
Hang on, Hunter. Jesus Christ, you got to let me respond if you're going to bring up a point. If I can prove to you that in fact I am right, that in Idaho, if you use the bathroom,
you're right.
Okay, great, thank you. I am right. You are eligible if you use the bathroom 4 times and each time you are caught, Jesus fucking Christ, then don't let cisgender men in any bathroom, because that's who rapes kids. It's not trans people. It's cisgender men. No cisgender men.
People pretending to be women rape kids.
Hunter, who does it more? Men who are not trans, or trans women?
Who does it more?
Yeah.
Well, there's more men than trans women.
So let's go per capita. Per capita. Who does it more?
That's a statistic.
Yes, who does it more? Is it if per capita? If there is a child in a bathroom and a cisgender man and a transgender woman are in the same.
Who shoots up schools more?
Cisgender white men. Cisgender white men.
No.
Correct. Yes. Incorrect. Cisgender white men are the number one.
More.
Hunter, no, you are incorrect. The most school shooters are cisgender white men who come from conservative backgrounds. You are aware of school shooters who are trans because all of the media. I'm not done, Hunter. Hunter. Hey, Hunter. Hey, Hunter.
It's
Hunter.
People that want to be women.
No, it isn't. You're factually wrong. You are once again. You're actually worse than our callers before because you aren't open to the fact that you are wrong.
Gender dysphoria isn't a mind problem.
Why are you, excuse me, Hunter, why are you changing? You're like totally trying to move the debate because you've lost so bad. What you have said, so we'll go to gender dysphoria now here in a moment because Hunter needs to jump around. This is his defense. It was his defense against his uncle jumping around trying to avoid, who now he feels sexually confused by, and it's his defense against debates. When I'm wrong, I'm going to try to jump something else. Hunter.
So that's what I'm doing.
You're doing it.
Hunter!
I'm doing what you
Jesus
guys do.
Christ. Jesus fucking Christ, Hunter.
I
You
would
don't
ask
know what
if
a
he's
whataboutism
okay,
is.
but
Hunter.
the answer
believe in
is
Jesus.
obvious.
What are you talking about?
Yes, hell Satan.
I am Jesus, Hunter. Look at me. I am the Christ. I am he. I am your Lord.
That's why I say hell Satan, because, you know, it offends Jimmy so much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's okay.
Have you received my image in your countenance? Stop jerking off to pictures of me. Okay, Hunter.
Hey.
So you've been wrong about everything so far. So now you're going to ask about gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria and being transgender are technically.
What is it?
What do you mean, what is it? Gender dysphoria?
What is it? Define it.
I don't think you know what it is.
I know exactly what it is.
Cool,
Go
what is
ahead
it?
then.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
It's somebody whose brain is messed up and they think they're in the wrong body.
Incorrect.
That's why they get therapy.
No,
That's why they get help.
that is not the definition people would use who actually have. You're trying to use like a colloquialism after demanding we define it, and your definition is piss poor, because that would mean gender
Define
dysphoria could also
colloquialism.
include by your definition.
Define
If somebody,
colloquialism. No, define the word.
I will define it after you pronounce it correctly.
Did you?
Go ahead.
Colloquialism?
Yeah,
Nope, so-
colloquialism.
Yeah.
Are you body shaming me?
No,
Yes,
I mean, this
mostly
next
your
question
underbite.
might be.
It's disgusting.
This next one might be.
You're body
What is
shaming me.
Hunter?
You have weird nipples,
yeah,
Hunter.
totally. Hunter, see, this goes right into that. What is gynecomastia?
Huh?
What is
Gynecomastia?
gynecomastia? Yeah.
That's when you have a penis and you have a vagina.
Hey, let's say a cisgender man, I know. Let's say a cisgender man develops a hormone imbalance and it causes him to grow breasts. And those breasts, he doesn't
You know
like
what's
those
funny?
breasts.
That
Hang on.
happened to
Nope,
me.
Hunter. Yeah, I believe you. I can hear it. I can actually hear it in your voice. Let's say he doesn't
you.
like Hunter. Let's say he
You're
doesn't
good.
like.
You're good. You're good.
I know I
man.
am. Hunter, let's say he
Hey.
doesn't. Hunter. Let's say a cisgender man grows breasts and he doesn't like them.
Can I tell you guys something?
Hang on, Hunter. I've got a question for you.
Wait.
No, you wait for me. I'm going to have to mute you because you're trying to take control of the call. So we're going to come back in. Hunter, let's say a cisgender man has boobs that he doesn't want, and he looks in the mirror and he sees titties and he goes, this sucks. I don't like this. If a medical procedure existed to simply remove and I looked more masculine, I would get that. They are a cisgender man, born with a wiener. They got testicles. They got XY chromosomes. They like being a dude. They love having a beard. They are not trans. Well, that kind of betrays the question, but they don't like their boobs. To them not liking having boobs that appear to be lady boobs make them transgender.
Did you cut me off?
I sure did. That beep is now means that you are not muted. So if you answer the question, you won't get muted again. Is a person who has lady boobs that doesn't want them, who is a cisgender man, born male, they like their penis, they like their beard. If they don't like their boobs that they got from a hormone problem, are they transgender if they don't like them?
Not at all.
So is a person with gender dysphoria automatically transgender? Is a person with gender dysphoria automatically transgender?
Gender dysphoria means you think you're in the wrong body.
Does a person who has titties they don't want, who is a cisgender man, like the guy we just described, does he believe he is in the wrong body, or does he believe that features of his body do not reflect his identity?
That happened
Hunter,
to me. Do you know how that happened?
Hunter, I do know how it happens. Would you engage my actual question instead of avoiding it so much for fear that people might think you're afraid of engaging honestly?
Wait, what? Ask me again. What?
If a cisgender man doesn't like their titties, does that mean they think they were born in the wrong body? or that a characteristic of their body does not reflect their identity.
A cisgender man that has titties is not a transsexual.
And doesn't like them. So if you didn't like your boobs that you developed, would that mean you feel like you were born in the wrong body? Or that there are characteristics? Was that the question, Hunter?
I just stopped doing something. My doctor told me to stop doing something.
Hunter, was that your question? Or was your question, does that mean you feel like you were born in the wrong body? Or that there is a characteristic on your body that currently does not reflect your identity?
No, I called in because I am.
That's not what we asked about.
I tried to tell you this earlier. Do you know
how much cocaine did you do, Hunter?
I don't do cocaine.
It's crack because cocaine's expensive. How much did you drink today before you called in? Because you aren't keeping track of the conversation or even trying to.
Probably 2 shots.
Call in when you're sober because I know what alcoholics are like. 2 shots means 8. Goodbye. That was dumb. I'm snoozing him for 24 hours. I'm not dealing with him trying to call back. No, let me back on. It's okay that I'm drunk.
I don't know what that was, but that was good. What is gynecomastia? And just goes, that's a penis in a vagina.
It's a penis that's also a vagina. Yeah.
I had man boobs when I was younger, but I don't know what the condition is called.
Literally, the funny thing is, they want to say being trans is a mental disorder because having gender dysphoria is in the DSM-5. Well,
yes.
Then Elon Musk and Ben Shapiro are both trans and mentally disordered because both of them experienced gender dysphoria around their balding and got hair plugs. Ben seems to be getting hair plugs in his eyebrows.
There's also questions on whether or not.
Have you seen how his eyebrows have changed over the years? They're fucking crazy.
No, I have not. But I mean, Donald
Trump
might also
Eugene Levy
gotten...
look like he's just got penciled on, like pencil thin eyebrows. It's crazy.
Now I'm curious. Ben Shapiro's eyebrows over the years.
Yeah. Just wait.
Before and after.
Bruh, has he gotten hair? Has he just been shaving them this whole time and waxing them or whatever? And now, guys, for the record, the reason why this one is easy to bring up is I don't have tits, but I don't like my chest. I get dysphoria around my boobies. So if anybody's feeling attacked, I get it around my boobies. And to the person who said, gynecomastia is not trans, correct. It isn't trans. It is or can cause gender dysphoria. If you have gynecomastia and your opposition to it is that essentially that it is emasculating, you are experiencing gender dysphoria. This is actually why it is important to start talking about how gender dysphoria both isn't the thing that makes you trans, nor do all trans people have to have gender dysphoria. In fact, the goal for a lot of people's transitions would be to live in a post-transition state of no gender dysphoria. So gender dysphoria does not have to be present, nor is gender dysphoria only a thing that happens for trans people. Just as gender euphoria isn't a thing that only happens to trans people. And when you start bringing some of that stuff up, sometimes they start to get it. But that guy was too drunk and he was not keeping track of what we were actually talking about.
Yeah.
So I just got tired of trying.
And real quick before we move on, because someone brought this up in my chat and I double checked it and I think this is great. Erectile disorder, commonly known as erectile dysfunction, is also in the DSM-5. So I guess if you're out there and you're an old man and you have ED or even young man, you also have a mental disorder, since they're trying to say that everything that's in the DSM-5, MAGA is trying to say, is a mental disorder.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. By the way, somebody in chat, I should be saying call in. Oh, maybe that caller was, wait. I don't know if this is a person trying to correct me or not. What I am describing is not dysmorphia. Dysmorphia has to do with basically what you look at is distorted. is wrong. So, for the record, I am a little bit overweight, but when I take my shirt off and I look in the mirror, as Luthien can attest to you, I see a severely morbidly obese man. And she sees somebody that she claims is hot. It's weird, and I don't believe her, but she's very believable. I have body dysmorphia around my gut and my torso, but there are elements of that are definitely separate that are dysphoric because of the specifically the way I feel my chest can shape if I'm carrying a little extra weight makes me feel dysphoric, as in it feels undermining specifically to my masculine presentation. And let's be clear, I am a cisgender man who is very happy to present masculinely. This beard, I doubt I will let it go ever again for the rest of my life. Barring some medical reason, I like presenting masculinely. So dysmorphia and dysphoria. Dysphoria is not cisgendered, or dysmorphia is not just cisgender dysphoria. Mm-hmm. Dysphoria and dysmorphia are different things. Dysmorphia is also more delusional. Like as I say, I am dysmorphic about my, people are now going to try to call and use that against me. Fat jokes I am immune to them, having grown up with brothers who were dicks. Like you couldn't get to me with a fat joke. In fact, if anything, I find fat jokes very amusing when done right. The only reason I probably wouldn't let them go on the channel is we're not going to make the channel a fat shaming channel because the roast is fun. Dysmorphia, you actually see yourself different than you are actually presenting. It is delusional because you don't see something that isn't there, but you hyper focus on the things that make the case worse for you. That is very different. Anyway.
Yeah.
You remember beardless Jimmy? I've never gone fully beardless. I've gone down to just a goatee. And at that time, I was like 50 pounds heavier than I am now. And I also I shaved off my head, too, to cosplay as Matt Dillahunty. Wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. I honestly, I'm glad I got my hair cut to my shoulders. And the person who did it did great. I am so glad it has grown past that now because I fucking hated it. Anyway. Wow. I think that this person doesn't realize that I think I might have accidentally just gotten insulted. Let me see. She doesn't tell you you're hot because you're hot. She says it because she loves you. Hope this helps. No, that would be much worse. You're saying I'm not actually hot to her. She's lying because she loves me.
Oh my gosh.
Flippery, I don't think you meant it that way because you and I are cool and I don't think you would say that. But I don't think you realize I don't want what you just said to be true because it would almost suggest that actually I'm not dysphoric. I am seeing a gross monster in the mirror when I take my shirt off. She sees it too, but she loves me so much that she tells me I'm hot anyway. I don't think that's what you meant to say.
Yeah,
but
don't lie.
Sakes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You shouldn't lie. That's not how that works. It's not how it should work, at least.
Ooh, is somebody in chat trying to shit on Luthien? I'm sorry, what else had Mr. D said here? Let's see. I gotta find what stupid shit this idiot said.
Why are they trying to be rude? It's so dumb.
Ooh, hey, here's what's not gonna happen. I don't care the shit you said about me, but you try to do you think I care about a guy who refers to himself as a Tolkien character, you muppet, is what you just directed at Luthien. You are in timeout we're gonna do a whole day. Luthien is not only my producer, she's my partner. I wouldn't abide it for my producer, but I hate to say that I'm uneven-handed. I'm double not going to abide it there. Go fuck yourself. I would trade 30 more minutes of hanging out with her than $1 million to hang out with Mr. D.
Oof.
I'm also not a guy, and if you'd read Tolkien, you'd know that.
Yeah, tried to shit on you being a guy who refers to himself as a Tolkien character. Because your name's Mr. D. Like, in what world are you representing the number of characters that could be? And you have a cartoon avatar.
They always
fuck are
hide
you
behind
shitting
it.
on anybody for?
Yeah, no, they always hide behind that stuff. Like, that's actually the most comments that I get that are like, "Oh my god, I can't stand the way," like faceless PFPs.
Yeah.
Like, at least if you're going to insult me, put your real face behind you, because otherwise, like what I found myself doing is I look up your name, because some of y'all people literally put your name out there, right? So I look up your name and I pull anybody off of Facebook, and I will put that picture as your picture and say you're one to talk.
Yeah.
And
Mr. D, contact a Q&A-line.com when you want to send the apology that I will pass along to Luthien. Because you fucked up and you should apologize. That was the end. Sorry, was that did I interrupt what you were saying, or was that the end of it?
no, that was basically it.
Okay. All right. I don't think this one will take long. Jeff in North Carolina, pronouns he, him. You're on the line with Jimmy and Ari.
yeah.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going? So I know that I'm wrong, and I'm hoping you can help me vocalize the layers. So basically, I'm an ex-Mormon. I went through the whole Prop 8 thing, and I remember hearing, okay, if the law is this in 2007, how is that discriminatory if we apply it to everyone? And I that feels so wrong for me to say out loud, but I want to be able to turn it into a syllogism, and I don't know how to do that. So I can defend the position that gay marriage is appropriate and that the no gay marriage was wrong, and hoping you can weigh in on that. And I'm not driving, and I have had some liquid courage to call in the first place.
So you're just saying that internally you feel like gay marriage is wrong, but you know it's not, right?
No, internally I feel like it's right, but I don't know how to vocalize that in a syllogistic way.
Who's ever asking you for syllogisms to defend gay marriage? First of all, don't talk to anybody who wants to defend gay marriage with syllogisms, but
yeah,
go
that
ahead.
doesn't seem...
So it's coming from myself. I want to revisit all the shitty things I was raised with, and I don't know how to square this peg. I have some, I'm sure I'm wrong, and I want to be able to.
If you need a syllogism,
that dissonance.
The syllogism you'd want to appeal to the freedom stuff probably. So the syllogism would be something like, the government should not restrict personal freedoms unless doing so causes harm to others. And then the minor premise would be same-sex marriage does not cause harm to others. The conclusion, therefore, the government should not restrict same-sex marriage.
Yeah, I agree with that on an emotional level, and I still feel like there's some dots I want to connect. Just from
like what?
How do we get from harm to the what is equally being applied?
All laws should be equally applied unless... Wait, I don't understand what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't know what the flaw in my syllogism was. Are you suggesting that that's not already made pretty clear that the Constitution permits all things that aren't harmful unless otherwise legislated against? Is harm not justified?
And I agree it's justified. Maybe I just don't have a very good way to voice the dissonance that I'm trying to resolve. It's very complicated, deculting my brain, and I see chat, and some of them are saying that I may not know how to spell syllogism, and I don't think that they're spelling syllogism right.
Okay, premise one, citizens should be treated equally under the law. Minor premise.
Yeah.
Gay citizens are citizens under the law. Conclusion. Gay citizens must be treated equally, including access to marriage.
Yes.
Does that one work better for you? Because there's no harm in it?
Yes, that one is like I'm fully on board with that. And then just the fact that the next step of marriage having a component of gender, how do we square that syllogism with?
Why does it have to have a
obviously
component of
right in that
gender? Why does marriage have to have a component of gender? Why does gender need to be mentioned in a marriage law? Why can't it be number of adults? Which, by the way, I'm not opposed to polygamy either. So
I'm not either.
We have to limit the extension of marriage benefits for tax purposes or whatever, but also I don't think I'm for those laws anyway. I think it should be pretty clear. There are certain things that you incentivize for better or worse. In a good society, you probably should incentivize people having children in some sort of way. But first of all, realistically, the government shouldn't do marriage. Fuck marriage. It shouldn't exist. It does exist. So if it does exist, it should be extended equally. And citizens, gay citizens are equal citizens. Therefore, they should have access to the right of marriage. Period. I don't know why we need to add gender, why it should be anything besides human and adult. Why gender should be remotely. Are there any genders that shouldn't be allowed to marry each other?
No, there's no genders that should.
Then why do we need to
marry each other? And
then why do we need to invoke gender at all? Why does the regulation need to include?
And I think that's the answer to my question.
Gay marriage would happen if there was no gendered law about, just like right now, there's no law gender restricting who can get alcohol. So gay parties happen.
Yeah.
And that's where the syllogism or the clause is it shouldn't have gender involved at all.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. And that
I don't even know if it does.
That makes me,
are the laws right now written as like between one man, one woman, or one man and one man, or one woman and one woman, or are the laws now two adults? I don't know how they're written. I legitimately
I don't know what the laws are
sure.
either. I was more wanting to resolve my internal conflict of I believe that gay marriage should be allowed, and I just couldn't vocalize that, and pointing out that gender shouldn't be a component, I think, is the answer. So
yeah, gender's dumb.
Like I said, I think
gender shouldn't be a component of a lot of shit. It shouldn't go away. Yeah. I'm not a full gender abolitionist. There are people. I think gender is very important to the individual. I think gender abolition, at least a type of it, very much undermines the experience of trans people. If gender abolition ideology was so good, gender dysphoria, the solution to gender dysphoria would never include transitioning, and people who are not transgender wouldn't realistically experience much. Now, the concept of the pressures of gender dysphoria, where you can feel more accepted without transitioning, for sure that would be reduced, but I'm not a full gender abolitionist by any means. I think it's very important to me that I am a man, and I intend to maintain that.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to emphatically agree with you from here on out. I appreciate you, and help, thank you for helping me resolve thank you for helping me resolve.
Is that fully covered? Jeff?
Yeah, thank you for helping me resolve latent cognitive dissonance from deculting my brain from Mormonism.
Dude, Mormonism's fucking garbage.
And I appreciate you.
Apparently less culty
Thanks,
than
man.
Jehovah's Witness. Bye.
Bye, Jeff. Yeah, they're both culty, for the record, Ari. They are both very culty. Yeah. Thanks, Jeff. We'll hang up on there. They're very much both culty, but on the scale, Jehovah's Witnesses are worse, which, by the way in which they're worse are less subtle and harder to sell, which is probably why they're dying a little bit quicker and they're having a little bit more struggles. The Mormon Church, the only reason they're not dying is they basically ran it as a business for the last 100 years, and they are super rich, potentially richer than the Catholic Church has more power. The Mormons, with a way smaller organization on paper, has more money. There are probably assets that you would say financially you could add up, but it's crazy that we're even there. And Mormons have, what are they up to? They claim 18 million members, but are 5 million people participating against 1 billion Catholics with not, many millions more Catholics actually participating. It's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy.
That sounds crazy for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to end the calls there and read super chats. Thanks everybody who's been here so far and who leaves for the super chats. However, sometimes the super chats are fun and the questions are fun. And let's be honest, it's almost 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. What live stream do you have better to go to?
My bed.
Well, that was
But
you.
there is no live stream.
Yeah. Yes, the in bed stream.
Yeah, that's the pictures that happen behind my eyeballs or behind my eyelids.
I gotta tell you, I've thought of setting something up to where like I could literally, especially for if I'm like sick, I could just be laid back in bed and pull a thing over, and now I'm streaming. I'm streaming, from bed. Not like you fucking perverts, not that kind of stream. But
the sad part is I knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah, you're like, that would be convenient.
That would be so convenient, especially if you're not feeling well. Like I could have done that when I had surgery then if that was the case, so I wasn't sitting up in a chair this whole time.
Do you eat in bed?
No.
Does your partner eat in bed?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all are missing out on one of the great joys in life. And there are solutions. Luthien, what did I do to solve the number one problem of the fact that I love to snack in bed? And she'll snack in bed too, but I might have dragged her down into it. What was my solution?
A sheet vacuum, and I love it.
I got a dedicated bed vacuum. It's a little handheld that's basically like just the bottom part of the vacuum with a little tank, and it's great. Sometimes you do it and you're like, we should just have these anyway because my blanket seems fresher now too. It just seems like you don't wash your blanket as often as you wash your clothes, or if you're a man ever, and it just seems like a lot cleaner in general. That was a joke. That was a joke that you didn't laugh at. Anyway, they're great.
There are some men. That's what makes it less of a joke.
I could probably do it more often, but no, I have a lady in the house, so it gets done. Anyway, the more often, she's not relegated to doing the chores. She just likes them more than me. Anyway, there's an LED bar across the front, also, so it like really highlights how effective it's been. Like it's really good at you don't wonder if you miss some chip crumbs or whatever. Eating in bed is one of life's true joys, guys. That's just what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to. I don't here, so.
It's also nice if you have pets.
Well, I believe that
for
one.
the fur.
So many
I was
animals.
like, why would eating in bed be nice if you have pets? I don't get that at all.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
I gotta see if Liberty followed up from when I was like, I think you didn't mean it that way, or you were meaning it that way as a joke. But I could.
Or they're just mean. Who knows? People are just
Liberty's
mean.
Cool. They support a lot, so maybe they get a little occasional roast here and there.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Little roasty roast. All right. Here we go, guys. We're gonna read the super chats and then call it a night. Jay Online says, "Fine, I'll donate or whatever." Do you have the super chats up? Also, you can alternate if you want.
Me? No,
Yeah.
How would it?
Can't you click the top chat? Are you a mod in this chat yet?
I am a mod. I don't know if I'm a managing mod. Let me see.
I don't think you need to be managing. Up at the top, if you hit the arrow, I think you can switch from top chat to live chat to fan funding, and it'll just show you the supers.
Oh yeah, it will. My bad.
Cool.
There we go. Cool. So where were you at?
Jay Online, and then the next one is God Sinner, the one that I didn't fully parse earlier.
I don't know why people tell Jimmy to go fuck himself, stop being cowards, and do it yourself. Love y'all.
From Carol. Carol, are you telling people to stop being cowards and to fuck me? Is that the joke? I think that's got to be the joke, but I feel like I'm worried I'm missing an obvious joke or that I'm overanalyzing this one. Is that what it means? Is you're just saying like the audience should bang me? Because I think we would all hate that. But I think that's got to be it, right? I don't know. Anyway.
Yes, they're saying like, stop saying go fuck yourself as a joke. Just man up and do it. Like I think that's what they're saying.
Like man up and kiss me on the mouth. Like
I
what
can
are they
see
saying?
that.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. Arcane Goat says Jimmy is at half power. Now's the time for everyone to say all of the suddenly.
Why is it? I thought the phrase is all of us suddenly, which we had that conversation, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I feel like it was just 2 weeks ago. But why? So why is Arcane phrasing it as all of the suddenly?
I hate all of the sudden more of all than all of a sudden. And a lot of people say all of the sudden.
No.
I know they say it wrong. It's terrible.
It doesn't even make sense.
We don't need either of them. None of them make sense.
Oh,
I don't actually know that all of the sudden is worse than all of a sudden. What is a sudden versus the sudden? The
I looked
sudden
it up.
Oh my God. I'm gonna create a horror movie called The Sudden.
I mean, that would be the most apt name.
We call it The Sudden. Anyway.
That would be the most apt name, not gonna lie. Mermaid, what is your favorite political system? Why did somebody put Fuentes for socialism? Like, they didn't even say it right. Is it supposed to be Fuentes?
I don't know. Fuentes for socialism? Fuentes for socialism?
Ben.
I don't think they're a Fuentes stan. If they're a Team Ben and they're hashtag Jimmy go fuck yourself. I don't know what JFR is. Jimmy for real. I don't know.
As far as like political system, I mean, political ideology would be socialist progressive. Like I don't know what to tell you on that one. Like there's not a political system because socialism as it's been implemented in many countries has not been implemented successfully.
Would that be more like economic? More economic. I think he might be asking you if you're into democracy or not. I don't know.
Democracy. We are a failed democratic experiment right now in the U.S.
Sure.
I might be
capitalism.
Thinking about this in too much of a simplistic term.
Who is the person who asked? We could ask them to specify.
Nexus,
you in chat? Do you want to specify? Give them a second. Because I don't know if they mean, are you a socialist or are you a capitalist? Or if they're asking if you are into democracy or authoritarianism or what.
Oh, God. Yeah. Democracy over authoritarianism or a dictatorship.
All of a sudden it's technically correct because it's a commonly accepted colloquialism. All of a sudden is stupid. We shouldn't use it anyway. Suddenly is better. Yes, the sixth suddening. Suddenly life has new meaning to me. Yeah, they haven't specified, so.
They haven't, so, I mean.
I'm a small L libertarian socialist. That kind of tells you my political and economic leanings. Certainly it would be very democratic. Do you have a?
Nope.
All right. Well, cool.
That sounds good to me too.
Balthazar says, be cephalopositive. I think they're saying that they would like us to love octopi.
I got it. I was asking myself, like, what does that mean? Never mind. I remember what a cephalopod is now.
I'm just saying that there's a certain culture that has increased the occurrence of cephalophilia.
Just don't look up the word. And I'm not going to say it. Oh, wait, hold on. Fuentes is this is from God Center. Fuentes is a virgin in the way I am a virgin. I will say I am all day because the only sex I have had makes me feel bad.
Well, that sucks. But also, for us, I don't believe on our side actually promoting the idea that virginity even really exists because it doesn't. Fuentes, I don't know. I don't have a hard time believing he's never had consensual sex. Whether or not he's had sex where where he consented and the other didn't, I also wouldn't have a hard time believing that. But he does strike me as a person who I've never even heard amongst the lady groypers, you know who I want to take down is that Nick Fuentes. Not once. And you know, opportunistic people exist in all, you know.
They do.
No, libertarian socialist does not make sense, and does not make little sense. It makes very much sense. It's an entire category of thing. Essentially, socialism being the economic system, but when it comes to personal choices and what a person wants to do, essentially regulating what a person's going to do with their life and shit, I think leave us the fuck alone. That's why I said small L libertarian, not big L libertarian. I'm not part of the party. I do believe in a lot of personal liberty, and leave me the fuck alone. And probably let me have guns and shit. You know, it's
yes, Jimmy's,
there is some overlap.
That's just how that works sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of personal liberty in libertarian socialism. I think you're up.
All right. Happy Trans Visibility Day, everybody. We see you every day.
I think I don't believe that it's the Trans Day of Visibility, and here's the reason why.
Okay.
It feels like it happens a lot. Is Trans Day of Visibility like every month, or are years just passing by me so fast that legitimately it's just I'm not realizing it. Is there actually one Trans Day of Visibility? Is it always March 31st?
As far as I know, yes, it's always March 31st. The other day is like supposed to fall on, I think, April 6th of the year. And it's Trans Remembrance Day to remember the individuals that have been killed as an act of violence or because.
So time's just flying past me, and that's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll be dead soon, guys. From old age, it would seem.
How dare you?
You know what other that one does this? Every time I hear, hey, it's Ask an Atheist Day, so go ahead and ask an atheist. First of all, I don't think that's a real holiday in the first place, but I also think that there's like 4 days a year that people claim are Ask an Atheist Day.
Did you know that there's a real...
And I'm the president of atheism, so I decide. Go on.
Did you know that there's a real day that is Talk Like a Pirate Day?
If all of humanity died, would it still exist?
No.
Then I hope all of humanity dies. Okay. King Goat says, chemtrails are real, the moon is a hologram, and the earth is flat. But that's not what I'm calling in for, Daniel, probably. I wish I had seen that. I would have read that when you said it if I had seen that come in. That was such a perfect summary of our experience. Very good job, Arcane.
Oh, yeah, that was great. I love those ones. I'm going to read this one in my best kind of, I don't know.
Can you do British?
Quite comical. No.
Okay.
I will fail at that one. It's quite comical how you guys call people cowards for not calling into your show where you have the upper hand of the mute button. You guys couldn't handle a real debate on neutral ground. Fake tough guys.
Thanks for the $20. Also, we're literally launching a quote unquote real debate show. I enjoyed these criticisms as I'm actively in pre-development of 2 of them, and we're about to have. Now, are they going to happen on our platform? Yes, they will be built neutralized. Essentially, the easy way you do it is you have designated times for each person. The only thing that we would cut in and use power to stop them with would be literal violations of terms of service. Like, we're not going to let you get our YouTube channel taken down because you want to start screaming slurs and show your wiener.
Oof.
But thanks for the $20 to say that. Like, appreciate it.
I'm fairly certain that is the same guy who called anonymously. He tried calling anonymously a few times, and the third time he actually answered, and he said, "How dare you try to make me give you my information," and had a crash out.
All right,
and the funny thing is like...
Nice one, Dab.
We're always polite and we warn people that they or we tell people that they have been muted, right? And mutes don't happen often. It's only when you're being a dumbass.
Bro, the way people now get mad at me because I'm not using the mute enough, because I will let them talk over me a lot before I finally resort to it. I will first try to correct them because I used to get shit all the time about muting them too much. And now I'm getting that I'm doing it too little. The other criticism's always been the same. I talk too much. That's consistent across the years. Though, who was it? It was either yours and Javon's show. No, I think it was Forrest and Lux's show. One of the comments was literally like, honestly, we needed Jimmy back to talk over so-and-so because that person was allowed to talk too much. So, and I think they even said, like, usually I don't like how much Jimmy talks, but we could have used him for that call.
That's funny. I get that a lot on my channel where they're like, yeah, you should mute people more. And I'm like, I try not to. It's only when I'm just at my wit's end.
Or a drunk person isn't even tracking and just tries to talk over you.
The real angries.
Yeah. Anyway, Sheriff Dabbler, you're so full of shit. And if you disagree, super chat $50 this time to tell me why. God Sinners says, the only good thing about the first call is I get to learn actual facts about sugar. Yeah.
That's true. That one was so dumb. Jay says again, donating for Jimmy being so thorough in his educational segment. That was also about the sugar.
Alice says, if in a hospital and terminal, I'm going to eat so much junk food as is my goddamn right as an American. I got to tell you, Alice, that's a good plan. However, and I do not endorse this for anybody else. If I know I'm under a month left, Heroin. I'm trying it. I've heard such good things about it, but you don't want to ruin your life with it. If I can't ruin my life, heroin. That's what I'm doing. That's my end of life plan.
Valid.
Maybe we just go straight big boy fentanyl way. I don't know, but the plan for the end of my life is copious amounts of heroin.
I mean, not entirely invalid, but
I think I have to say I'm joking. Hey,
yes.
guys, I'm joking. Don't do drugs.
It's a joke, guys. Yeah, drugs are
It's
bad.
a joke. It's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank. Just a prank.
Micah, calling out Michaela, said, should ask if Michaela took off the white hood for this call. I don't necessarily think that Michaela engaged in any direct racism. We'll say it that way.
It's kind of one of those things where you're like, I'm going to ride with the Klan because I like what the response to the Klan's going to be. So if you believe the numbers are bigger because there's fake Klan people there, you're more likely to respond. But accelerationism does not have a positive track record. There was another trans woman who was an accelerationist who called the other day who tried to claim that feudal France before the revolution was an accelerationist movement. Are you fucking stupid? And then basically said that accelerationism is that which accelerates people. Like just anything that accelerates you toward revolution is accelerationism. Anyway, the answer is yes. She was fucking stupid.
Oh, it's just I don't even talk to them anymore. They get it. I can't stand them.
Oh yeah, I know.
They're boring.
I know. Anyway. Never Had a Bidet says, why does it seem like these MAGA morons have never used their thinky muscle until calling in? Sucks being on the same bus as these dummies. Your brain is mostly made of fat. Just so it's a very fatty organ.
And if you smoke like cigarettes, then you're just lining all of your wrinkles with nicotine, and it's not good.
What's the bad news?
Oh, good. I mean, have you ever seen... Okay, so...
I don't smoke anymore, for the record, but...
I can't remember all of the implications of it. I just remember when I was in first grade, my mom was a student in freaking college and was a science student or a biology student, whatever. It wasn't directly involved in nursing because she didn't take that yet, but she literally cut open cadavers. And her teacher literally brought in physical examples of a brain that smoked cigarettes and of lungs that smoked cigarettes, and I had to see that. So I just remember that. I'm like, I don't think I want that.
I think there are good ways and reasons to do that, but I actually think scare propaganda like that ends up backfiring. I think the DARE program made more drug addicts than it made, or at least drug curious people that made people stop doing drugs.
Yeah, probably.
And there's other things you don't find out because then once you come across a statistic, like if you quit smoking before 25, you're very likely to recover back. If you haven't gotten cancer, you're very likely to recover back to as though you hadn't ever smoked or close to it. Your outcomes are going to be worse, but then you said that and you're like, great, I can smoke till I'm 25. In reality, you really shouldn't do that either because now you're raising your chances of cancer before 25. There's just a lot of, I think it's better to just tell people the truth than try. Anytime you're trying to scare people and then later on in life, you're like, I don't know, a lot of the things they tried to scare me with turned out to be pretty fun stuff. Oh, especially when you're having abstinence education next to don't do drugs.
That's funny.
I don't know. I don't know those should be together, certainly. Right. I'm still abstinent though. I signed my purity pledge. I have I signed my purity card.
Okay, my neurospicy is saying, you read the next one, I'll read the atheist mechanics one.
Okay. Michaela says, Michaela needs to forfeit her name right now. Can't have it. Time's up. Truly psychopathic caller. Dude, I'm with you, Michaela.
That's just what it is when they're fucking accelerationists. They don't care about other people. Okay, so I chose this. I wanted to say this one for this reason. The atheist mechanic said, I'm seeing news posts saying that the Supreme Court legalized conversion therapy. This country sucks. So that's not actually what happened with the Colorado law. So the woman that sued, she was a speech therapist, but she was not a licensed therapist. And so their attorneys argued very well by saying that applying the Colorado law to her or therapists that are not licensed therapists or medical professionals should not apply to somebody that's utilizing their freedom of speech. I'm not saying it's good, but they made compelling arguments saying that it was an infringement on freedom of speech, specifically because they were unlicensed. That just basically said that if you're not a licensed therapist, that law can't apply to you for conversion therapy. Bullshit.
Basically, so if licensed therapists are not allowed to do conversion therapy, that law does not restrict an unlicensed therapist because that law is directed at therapists.
Correct.
But it doesn't technically legalize, I see, that non-therapists aren't bound by the rules of therapists.
Right, yeah.
I know it was 8-1, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and of course, one of the liberal judges voted against it, and they were worried about how it would be applied elsewhere. But that's the main reason. I'm not
the broader issue.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I understand why they did, because if you make a compelling argument again on freedom of speech, they're almost always going to rule in favor of freedom of speech.
Yeah, it's kind of like if somebody said somebody was trying to say your company has to abide by HIPAA laws, and you're like, we're not a medical company. No, we don't. And the people were like, yeah, they aren't a medical company. They don't have to abide by HIPAA laws. So no, they don't. It's pretty much, it's that. It's not them endorsing conversion therapy, though, unfortunately, the outcome may still be negative or might be a foundation for something negative. That sucks.
Yep.
I mean, it does set a precedent that conversion therapy isn't the torture that it actually is. It doesn't literally set that precedent, but it may mean there is more conversion therapy. It doesn't assess whether or not conversion therapy
sets the precedent that people have a workaround for it.
Right. Well,
that's what I would say.
Currently the scope that is present isn't sufficient to prevent the workarounds. And so realistically, we have more reasons we need to vote to just make conversion therapy illegal in America.
Yeah, if you make it a law, that's a different story. And it would have to be specific to licensed professionals, and then people just find a stupid workaround. But I would love to read the rest of them with you, but I gotta cut it. I'm a little bit over.
No worries. I'll wrap them up. But thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next Tuesday. And I just mean that, not as the insult. I know that's an acronym. Yeah.
I don't really picture those things. And I don't take them as insulting, because I guess you'd have to understand the insult first. So.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye. You can just put me up solo, dear. Whoop-a-doop. Maybe take that banner off my face. Thank you, love. All right. Let's see. Arcane Goat says, I'm a voice actor. Listen to me sound exactly the same, except slightly deeper. Well, that convinced me. Arcane, you're on it today. Space Barbarian says, shit, I go caving. Everyone who's afraid of going underground has something in the DSM. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm fully claustrophobic, but I do experience in certain conditions. I definitely have some kind of crowd claustrophobia. I'm autistic. I don't have to dig that deep for where I am in the DSM. All right. Anyway. Even if I wasn't autistic, but I had the crowd claustrophobia, probably is a part of my autism. Dan Bond says, sending this because I believe in what the line stands for and just because I can. Go fuck yourself, Jimmy, with love. I will do that with love. Thank you, Dan Bond. We very much appreciate that. I think you will all enjoy the big developments. Liberty Giblet says, as a baldy, I'm just jealous of your locks. Love you. Go fuck yourself. For the record, I like bald people. I just also enjoy when people start talking about which trans people they don't find hot. My automatic reaction is to point out that they look and smell like shit. The people saying that, not trans people. The people trying to assess the looks of trans people. And then naming a trans person I've never even fucking heard of. What am I going to do? Let's start Googling people you don't think are hot. D. Mouser says, all of a sudden, the walls around you fall. You find yourself on the toilet in public. Verse, you're enjoying the park when suddenly The bathroom walls collapse, revealing an unfortunate soul now pooping in the open. It's situational, in my opinion. I find that the second instance was far superior. Maybe because the first way I said it already, I can't. Let me try. All of a sudden, the walls around you fall. You find yourself on the toilet in public. Even there, I would just change it to suddenly. Suddenly, the walls around you fall. You find yourself on the toilet in public. I wouldn't have even needed a different version. I would have preferred suddenly in the first sentence. Space Barbarian says, it blows my mind that, mild spoilers, the new Naked Gun movie had acceleration as bad guys. I mean, in a way, isn't that kind of what the people in kind of yes, kind of no. In the Winter Soldier and Falcon movie, they were they liked the world post the Thanos snap. And so they kind of wanted to do stuff to get us back to that level of unification by using violence as a tool to unify the world again, something like that. And, that was Ozymandias's in The Watchmen. That was Ozymandias. That's what he did too. It was basically accelerationism. He was going to give the world, you could say, even if you're the kind of person who's man, I wish aliens would invade because all humans would unify to fight the aliens. You could call that a type of accelerationism too. Okay, well, that's the show.